Welcome to my National Podcast. Let's get into it. All right, welcome to my National Podcast. It's another beautiful Sunday episode. We got an action-packed episode for you guys. We're going to be reacting to some videos. Some people from the community have actually asked us, or asked mainly him, and a little bit of me, I guess. I don't know. But to rate their Tinder. All right, to rate their Tinder profile and what they could improve on or whatever. We don't know much about like dating apps and shit like that, so we're gonna try our best, and then we're still gonna have our thread as well as scenarios. So we strap in and strap on because we got an exciting episode for you guys locked in, ready to go. Do you have anything for the intro before we get on into it?
No, brother. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
All right, let's get on into these videos. All right, I'm going to move you guys on over. Let's see here. Let me see. All right, we got our first one.
Should we say on the count of three?
1, 2, 3. Fettuccine.
Oh my God.
So we're meant to be. I guess.
That was crazy.
We're meant to be.
Yes.
What would you say are some like special, unique talents you have?
I can fold my tongue in half. What, do you have a talent? Besides climbing trees?
Quoting lines from movies or
Are you a cinephile?
Yeah, I like to watch movies, but I don't watch.
What's your all-time favorite director?
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
As directors?
Because they directed my favorite movie,
Good Will
Hunting. Oh wow.
Favorite movie's Interstellar. So
okay,
I love Christopher Nolan films.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
And that has Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Yes. He's very good looking. I'd hope so, but I'd say yeah.
So she did say no.
Okay.
When I talked to him during the one-on-ones, I felt like we could keep a conversation going, but I also felt like it was mostly one-sided. I felt super engaged. I felt he was more pulled back, so I just don't really think I'm interested in seeing where this goes, but he seems super sweet.
All right, based off that video, what you thinking?
I think that's a classic case of self-sabotage where things were going really, really well, and she got scared of that, and so she put it into her mind as to yeah, dude, I before this really hurts, I'm gonna fuck this up from the beginning, so that way I don't gotta deal with anything that may come in the future, you know.
Damn.
My initial reaction to this is, God fucking damn it, dude. Why does shit like that happen where it's things go so fucking well? And she was like, I felt like I was, you know what I mean? I was so engaged and he was really pulled back or whatever, but
She said it was one-sided. Did that conversation feel one-sided to you?
Because either way, right, say he's leaned in and he's like, oh, dude, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? I'm so glad that we're both on the same page. She'd been like, yeah, he just really seemed like he was too into me. And I just really felt overwhelmed by what he was doing. And I didn't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then from there, dude, regardless, like I said, you know, he was on the idea of dude, we said the same dish. She could pick out the movies I was gonna say just based on the directors I quoted in the beginning, and then it was like a match made in heaven, you know. And then on her side, she's like, "Yeah, dude, this seems too perfect. I have to fuck this up." It reminds me of the meme where it's that guy that fucking is riding a bike and he puts his stick in his own fucking wheel.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he's fucking bike or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on here? You know? That's what that reminded me of. Hopefully she stays single doing shit like that. So
man, bro, because that's crazy.
That's
dude.
fucked up.
Oh man, yeah. Oh, dude. When I saw that, I was just like, what the fuck? You know, because the person that sent it in to me, they were just like, you know, what do you think of this? And I'm just like, off my first initial, I was just like, yo, okay, wait, it seems like shit's moving. It's doing. And then she's just like, oh, yeah, I'm just not interested in that. And to me, I'm just like, did you feel like you could do better than that?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like you just for some, because you got to realize like there's behind him, there's a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm thinking in my head that she's just like, oh my God, this guy is super great and fantastic. But are the other guys even more fantastic? Are they even better?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's
And that's what stuck out to me at first. Like, it wasn't just him. It's like she looks at it like, this guy's amazing, but what about those guys? Or maybe there's a guy that she had like this initial just like physical attraction to. Like he was just you know, an immediate physical attraction for her, but she hasn't got to talk to her yet. So she's just like, this guy is fantastic and amazing, but I haven't got to talk to him yet. So I want to see if this guy is fantastic and amazing, and if he's not, then I can just go back to mustache guy.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
There's a video out there as well that depicts it where there's like this little shopping center. They play it as like, you know, pick a man type deal, right? Where a woman walks in and then the lady's like, all right, the worker's like, all right. So there's 5 levels here.
Oh,
You've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
it, right?
I
There's 5 levels here. You can't go back down a level once you go up, but, you know, each level gets more and more amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, long story short, right, the first one's like a meh level, you know.
Yeah, he's an ordinary guy,
Yeah.
very regular, average, and then she moves up, and the guy is like, you know, he's got a great job and family and this and that, and then she moves up again. The dude is like really tall and attractive and all this good stuff, and then she moves up again, and the guy is he's like everything that the other guys are, but like he's rich and this and that, and then she gets to the 5th floor and there's nobody.
Yeah, there's nobody, and
there's
then
no one.
The worker's just like, yeah, this is just proof. We just have this as proof that, you know, women will always want to just try to keep climbing if they feel like there's more, like a better option out there, where it's like literally, I think in the video, she was like, oh yeah, 4 just seems like so fucking perfect. But she just remembered in the back of her mind, there is a 5th floor that's supposed to be even more amazing. So instead of staying at the 4th floor, she went up one more. And they were like, yeah, there's nothing here for you, lady. Like, if all those levels wasn't enough for you, then nothing will be. You know what I mean?
100%. And I feel like that is exactly what she was doing.
That's a great point, actually.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what she was doing. And that sucks, man, because you can be a great guy. You could be perfect. You could be, you don't even have to be like the weirdos that we've gone over as far as like threads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could be a perfectly average, normal guy doing your thing, saying all the right things, and still get passed up.
Yeah.
Still get passed up. Like, bruh. Just cooked, bro. So, yeah, man.
But kudos to him for like keeping it like composed and not like
100% not
what
crashing
the
out.
fuck? You know what I mean?
Like crashing out and be like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna shoot her family. No. All right, we're gonna get into this next one. All right, let me know what you think about this one, Rick.
Yeah.
I think this year I really want to like focus more on like doing my own thing and not being together all the time, because I want you to miss me more too. I think it's just like really healthy in a relationship to not be together 24/7. So I think that's one of my goals, just spend less time together. I think this.
So what do you think about that? Man's face is just like
I'm dumbfounded.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Like, bro, she practically said, I am going to cheat on you to his face, bro. I mean, okay, like I said, I'm not going to say anything. Like, give your full,
Nah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty accurate. Like, you can totally tell by the body language, right? She's looking into the camera, smiling. She's like, this is going to be so great. And then he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, what does she mean? And it's very clear. I don't know who posted this, if she posted it or he posted it. And then obviously this is a repost because, they're saying she straight up told him. But I guarantee they're not together anymore. That's that's a
100%.
guarantee for sure.
100%.
And it's just crazy how, damn, bro, like she legitimately was like, if I frame this correctly, I can just get fucked by anyone.
Yeah, and
then I'll
he'll be
just come
fine.
back.
Yeah, he'll be fine with it. Everything's hunky dory.
Everything's hunky dory, dude. And it's crazy that like, she's essentially playing like the home base kind of like game where it's like, I have like a home base here where if I just play my cards right, I can always come back to the safety. But then if I want to go out and have fun, do whatever, I can just do that and be like, oh, you know what, dude? Like, fucking Jeff down the road really liked me and he was a little creepy. Like, can you protect me from him? Because, you know, he's just really weird, even though I was really throwing it at him or some shit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And then
Yeah.
homeboy is sitting there just like, nah, man, your girl was fucking throwing ass at me at the
Yeah.
bar and didn't let me fuck. And he's like, wait, what? And in that moment, as a man, you're just like, wait a minute, do I like defend my girl or do I believe this dude? Because obviously it's like you kind of want to believe your girl over the dude, but at the same time it's like nigga wouldn't be crashing out like this if it wasn't true.
Right,
He
yeah.
wouldn't be in front of my house talking about, yo, what the fuck, Stacy?
Yeah.
You know,
That
you was
ass.
throwing all that ass at me and then you didn't let me smash. Like, what the fuck? So it's like you're putting a rock in a hard place and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, just contemplating every life decision you've made with this woman. You're just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, is what I'm doing like right? You know, like I know I would be dumbfounded. I'd be sitting there thinking to myself, just like, huh? Like, Mark, what the fuck, man? Like, is this true? Like, what the fuck is going on? And she's obviously, no, it's not true. Oh. So, dude, oh, you're cooked,
No,
man.
yeah, she's weird. And anyone that's like, oh, no, it's good to have, like, time apart or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you can have time apart, but as long as it's truly for, like, yourself or, like, a goal that's for betterment of the relationship, right?
Exactly.
Like, if you're out here
Exactly.
like, no, I need to go out with my friends and go clubbing or some shit, you're looking for male attention. I don't care. Whatever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're not fooling anyone when you're like, oh, girls' night out, where it's like, yeah, you want to go out and shake ass in front of a bunch of other strangers.
My thing is if you want time away from your partner, then that goes to show that you don't really love your partner. Because it's a thing where it's like, we've always said it, you know, when you're in a relationship and your girl really loves, admires, and respects you and stuff like that, bro, she's gonna want to be under you 24/7.
Right.
Like she's gonna want to be like she's gonna sew her skin to yours type shit. Like, it's not going to change all of a sudden. She just magically like click. Oh, I want space now. Like, no, bro, that just doesn't happen. Like, a girl that wants space from you is a girl that's just not interested in you anymore.
Yeah.
She doesn't love you anymore. She doesn't respect you anymore. And that's what it comes down to. It's like, yes, is there going to be moments when you guys are going to have your space and you guys are going to have your time apart and stuff like that? 1000%.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be because you wanted it. It's because something came in the way, whether it be work, it be family, it be, you know, situations going on outside of you guys' relationship. Like, that is when you're going to have time apart. But when you're saying, I want time apart, that right there is biggest red flag you could possibly get, because it's like, you never want time away from your partner. That's a concept that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, you always want to spend time with your partner. You always want to be around your partner. And for women, that's to an even higher degree, where it's like we said, they want to be under you all the time. They want to be around you all the time. They want to be talking to you all the time. So it's like, dude, nah, man. Wanting space, nah. Cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Brother's cooked, and I don't know if he was like seeing it in the moment, but like you can tell by his like thought process, like where he's looking, he's like, "Fuck, dude, does this make any sense? Like, what's going on here?"
Homie's just like, wait a minute. When she was talking to Chad, shit, I did catch her texting Jerome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's clicking for that dude.
Yeah,
and
she's probably got a high snap score and everything.
Ooh, damn. Yeah, that's true. Damn, bro. Hey.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, you gotta stay sharp out there, man.
Yeah.
You know,
these little they're little games too that women will play where it's like, no, it's not even like that. No, and they may have just tricked. They may have just spun themselves a lie that they believe too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you remember last weekend we did that scenario where homegirl had like told her boyfriend at the time, "Oh no, that's just my friend on PlayStation." Then when they broke up, she got together with him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same shit, bro. Like they're gonna spin that shit to you, talking about, "Oh no, he's just a coworker. Oh no, he's just a friend." And then once she gets rid of your dumbass, guess who she's with?
Yeah.
Guess whose bed she's in?
Yep.
That nigga.
Yeah.
The nigga she told you not to worry about. I mean, the moment you hear like, "Oh, don't worry about him, this and that," that's your cue to go.
Yeah.
That's your cue to go,
He's
bro.
like a brother to me, or like we don't even see each other like that, or we've been friends for however long.
Stop the
No,
cap.
no.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude. Yeah. Nah, like, dude. Shit. Woo! it just gets you. It gets, especially as a guy. You know what I mean? And when you've had this kind of done to you too, you're just kind of like, I feel it. I understand it. You know. But yeah. Oh, that's those 2 videos, man. You know. Thank you guys for sending in those videos. They were bruh. It's tough. It's tough out here, especially nowadays. It is very, very tough out here. But we're gonna go ahead and move on into some Tinder reviews. So I guess apparently there's a few guys that decided, hey man, you know, I heard, because okay, last year I did like the dating app thing for like a month.
Okay.
You know, and I talked about going on dates and stuff like that and so on and so forth. And I do get the question of like a lot of guys ask me, you know, how do you get dates? How do you get a girl to go out on a date with you on a fucking dating app? And for me, I don't know. I didn't think I was doing anything special. I didn't think I was doing anything like out of the ordinary to get these girls to like message me back and date or whatever. I just had, you know, good pictures, put my hobbies up, and I was just 100% honest, you know, and that's just kind of what that came down to. You know, obviously nothing came from it. But I was able to get a girl on a date, and that's kind of where they're like, you know, hey, yo, I can't get any matches. Like, I can't get any girl to go out on a date with me. And they were like, can y'all help me out? And so I was like, yeah, let's see if we can help y'all out, man. Let's see if we can, you know, do something for you. So these were sent in, and so, you know, we're gonna check them out. We're gonna see what's going on with it, and yeah, so we got our first one, and here's our boy right here. Here's our boy Mark. Our boy Matt. So we're going to go through all the pictures. And once you go through all the pictures, then you can go ahead and give your analysis. So it says he's looking for a long-term partner, monogamy, just first picture, a little weird video, I guess. Another picture. Okay, another picture. I don't even know which one is him in this one.
I think it's that one right there.
Oh, the far left?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's him with his little rat, and then him with more little rats. And then this is his about me. On sunny days, I'm playing pickleball or reading with tea, usually sci-fi, horror, history, or philosophy. Inside, I'm watching dropout shows or listening to audiobooks while playing with my rats. I love fast-paced music because I have a fast-paced mind. No, not in a smart way, ADHD. I like to dance with the confidence of someone who is actually good at it without the skills of showing for it. And I am looking for another freak to dance with me. These are some of his likes. They say, or I guess his prompts, if you will. On dating apps, they have prompts where it kind of it's like conversational starters or icebreakers, if you will. So, you know, these are a few of his. The weirdest food he's eaten is a chicken heart from a Brazilian steakhouse in Brazil, very chewy, or oysters. Not weird as in obscure, but they're just salty slime. What's the point? And then he has another one that says, people would describe me as, I was once told I'm weird, but in a good way, by someone I'd known for just a week. It's been wandering around in my mind palace ever since. All right. And then he has another one where he says, If I had 20 minutes left to live, I would probably freak the hell out and scream my head off about it until I drop dead. How do I know I have exactly 20 minutes left? That's insane. Then he kind of goes into more of just he doesn't want children. He has a bachelor's degree. His communication style is in person. And then these are just more things that, obviously is filled out on his profile. He works out often, drinking on special occasions. He's not a smoker. He doesn't have pets. His interests, museums, concerts, jazz, funk music, electric music, dancing, mindfulness, Dungeons and Dragons, pro-choice. He's LGBTQIA plus positive, and I guess he likes a band called Jahara. All right. So that's the profile there. I made sure to read everything out for everybody that is listening and the audio listeners out there.
Right.
So, yeah, go ahead and, give your, I guess, honest thoughts, comments.
Okay.
concerns.
Yeah. So, honestly, from my perspective.
And I haven't gone through this either. So, this is my first time seeing this, reading this too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're both going in blind.
So, yeah, honestly. Is that Star Wars? Yeah, he's got a Star Wars collection up there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say honestly, you're slimming down your chances, but I mean that's important, I guess, for when your like selection process. It's important for when you're trying to attract the right woman or whoever you're trying to attract. Sorry. My thing is right, like I'm at a loss for words because I'm not exactly sure what he's looking for as far as a review, right?
Yeah. I don't know either. He was just like, what could help me get more matches?
What could help you get more matches?
Yeah. Like, what could he change on his profile that would help him get more matches?
I mean, so it's one of those things where, right, like as a photographer, The idea that first comes to mind is like a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Videos speak those 1,000 words, And so for yourself here, like I said, it looks like you're trying to attract a very particular woman because you want someone, I would suppose you want someone with similar taste of like Star Wars, whatever those plushies are, Dungeons and Dragons, things of that nature, right? I feel like you'd have better luck doing your hobbies and finding a woman that's already doing your hobbies.
Facts.
Versus posting it online and hoping however many users that are going through it, especially if it's like a swipe right kind of deal where like the first thing they see is you and then they have to squint their eyes to see Star Wars, those fucking plushies and, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
And so... just from my perspective, I would say your first picture should be your most interesting picture. Just so that way they have a hook. Because if you look at it this way, right? Think of your favorite celebrity, right? Like, I don't fucking know. Let's just take like, Zac Efron, right? If he was just standing in a white room and like it was just him in different angles. On his like dating profile, right? Aside from him being Zac Efron, most people be like, this motherfucker's just good looking but boring. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
Why do you have so many pictures where it's like, him being Zac Efron and having more things to do, right? He's more likely to have more interesting pictures on his profile aside from being handsome, right? So for yourself, right? I say that because you're not like a bad looking dude or anything like that. You just need to have more to you than just like, your rats, dancing, music, and then whatever this first fucking picture is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's fucking you at like, if you do like Dungeons and Dragons, like, I don't know if they have tournaments for that.
No, yeah, technically no.
I don't think so, right?
No.
But like, yeah, if you do like large get-togethers for that kind of stuff, or you like have a video of you like going out and dancing like a person that is really good at it, like you say, right? Like I would say put that shit up first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for someone that's matching that kind of energy, you're gonna want them to be able to get to that kind of energy as quickly as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you like just going fucking crazy or whatever the case may be, showing, like I said, you want the first side of you to be the most interesting, and then from there they can dive deeper. Is what I'm getting at. You know?
All right, man. Look, I'm gonna be a little harsher. Okay. I think the Rig 4 was holding back his power level. If I'm being honest with you, but I'm going Super Saiyan 4 on your ass, man. Look, dude, you look like a serial killer. All right, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. You look like a fucking serial killer. I ain't gonna cap. And I get that. You know, not everybody is gonna be like handsome and shit like that and whatever. You know, I'm not the most handsomest guy. You know what I mean? And so that's fine. My thing is, look. You should be that long hair, bro, that you got. Cut that shit, bro. No girl wants that long, you know, thin ass hair and stuff like that, bro. Nobody wants that anymore. All right, get a good haircut or just go bald. You know what I mean? Go bald, grow a little beard. If you can't grow a beard, that's okay. Style your hair a little bit. You know, it doesn't cost that much to go like to a super cuts or go to, you know, a barber or whatever and get a good haircut. Get something that fits your face. Get something that frames your face very well. It's not that hard. All right. Another thing, showing your interests is great, but don't make your interests your entire personality. Let them figure things out about you. You never want to be that person that just gives it all up front. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is all of me right here. There you go, buddy. All up front. That overwhelms a girl, and that just kind of makes her feel like, you know, there's nothing intriguing. There's nothing that keeps me wanting to talk to him, or there's nothing that I'm thinking like, I wonder if he likes this. I wonder if he does that. You know what I mean? Like, women are masters of intrigue. They love when things intrigue them. It's why they're most, I would say, compared to the cat. They love being curious. They love when a guy gives them that stake of curiosity, and they're like, you know, dang, you know what I mean? And so that's why I say, like, strip back a lot of, like, look, dude, music, you don't need to say that you like music. You really don't. Dancing, let them figure that out on the first date. As far as like your other hobbies and stuff like that, don't say that you like them. Show that you like them in your pictures. You know what I mean? I love the way he was saying it, where it's like, dude, you know, show that you are doing Dungeons and Dragons and all that good stuff. Show that you're doing, you know, I don't know, rad obstacle courses or something like that. I have no idea. Whatever it is that you're into, show that in your pictures. Show you doing that. Have your friend take a picture of you while you're doing what it is that you love to do. Do that. Why? Because it gives the woman intrigue. She looks at that and she's like, you know, I wonder how he gets, you know, the rats to do that. Are they going through a little course? Are they, you know what I mean? Instead of you just like holding them and like having them and like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Those videos were creepy and they're a little weird. I'm just gonna be honest with you, my guy. Like, I would definitely change that video. I would definitely change the picture of you holding the two rats, stuff like that. Like, show it more of you doing kind of cute things with them and like silly things with them, or you feeding them, stuff like that. Like, you can't just post really anything, because you have to understand that a picture says 1,000 words, but you don't know what words that person is transcribing from that picture. That's bars, yeah. And so you need to be able to kind of paint a clear picture with the picture. All right. That way, that's why I say you put the little rats in a little obstacle course or something, and you have your friend taking a picture of you, and you're kind of over them, or you feeding them, or, you know, you doing something cute with them or whatever. Because when she sees the picture, everybody's getting the same message. It's not like, the fuck is that? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. When I saw that video, I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't even see that video the first time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I had to click off that shit. And I'm just being honest. I'm not trying. not trying to make fun of you. I'm being brutally honest so that way you actually can have the best chance in the dating world right now, bro. The dating world is brutal. Women are brutal. As much as they sit there and they're like, oh, I just want a nice guy, I just want this and that, and he buys me flowers. Bro, that's after they found you attractive. That's after, they have assessed that you're not a freak and a weirdo or a serial killer or anything like that. And so you need to present yourself not like that. Another thing, don't post pictures of you and other people. Always post just pictures of you, because it's a thing where, when you post pictures of like you and other people, a lot of people try to say like, oh no, if you post pictures of you with friends and it shows you have a social life. No, not really. Not on dating apps. On dating apps, it's actually best to just post you. Why? Because you're not selling the fact that you go out with friends and all that kind of stuff. Nah, you want the girl to figure that out later on. When you're out on the date with her, you talk about, oh yeah, me and my friends, we go and do this and we go and do that. And she's like, oh wow, I learned something new from him. Instead of like, oh yeah, I saw that on your profile. Like, she's not going to get anything from that. That's why you only post pictures of just you. And then you talk about your experiences with your friends. Oh yeah, me and my friend, we go play Dungeons and Dragons at this place and it's really cool. Like, you should come with us one time. And she's like, what? Really? Oh dang. It's all about intrigue. It's all about like sparking curiosity in the woman's mind. If you can't invoke curiosity and you just drop it all on her like your profile is doing, bro. And then same thing with your prompts, dude. Keep them short and sweet, my guy. Short and sweet. Like, honestly, don't even go bigger than 7 words on your prompts. The reason being is because it has intrigue. You always want to be invoking a question or invoking like, a thought process when you're doing those prompts. You always want her to kind of like be almost wanting, like, say if she does like you and she likes a prompt, it's mainly going to be a prompt where it's just like, oh, the craziest thing that I've ever eaten, like you had said. Instead of saying what the thing that is you ate, you go ahead and you tell her like, oh, I've eaten a lot of weird things, but when we talk, I'll go ahead and have to I'll show you. You know what I mean? Or I'll cook the weird things for you. Or I'll let you try them. Shit like that, where it's real short. It's real sweet. You know what I mean? Because for her, she's going to just be like, I wonder what those weird things are. And why does he want me to try them? And I guarantee you, if a girl matches with you, that's the first thing she's going to ask. Hey, so like, what are you going to make me try? You know what I mean? It's that intrigue that got her through the door. And once it got her through the door, now you're in there. Now you can be like, oh, hey, how about we like set up a little thing? We meet up and I have you try a few things. And they're just like, no, I don't know. No. It's like, all right, here, I'll give you one of them. And you tell them the chicken hearts or you tell them the frog legs or whatever. You know what I mean? You tell them one. And you're just like, you'll have to come on the date to see the other two. You know what I mean? Intrigue, my guy. It's all about intrigue. So
Yeah.
To wrap it all up, you need to get a haircut. All right, man. The whole thin, long hair thing, no, we ain't doing that no more. It's very inexpensive to go to a place to get a haircut. Okay, you can get a haircut. You got a good face, you know what I mean. You can get a good, decent haircut. Get a haircut. 2, don't lay everything all out at once on your profile. Let there be some intrigue. 3, let your pictures state very clearly what it is that you're trying to do. You know what I mean? If you like rats and all that kind of stuff, that's fine. That's okay. There's a lot of girls that like little rats and, guinea pigs and shit like that. There's a lot of girls that like that stuff, but make the pictures cute, like you're doing something with them, this and that. Get your friend to take you a picture of you, interacting with them and doing stuff with them. And then 3, when it comes to your prompts, make them short and sweet. Create intrigue. That's what women want. They want to be curious about you. They don't want, and take off all the main bullshit, okay? I like music. I like dancing. I like all this. Bro, no. You know how many guys sit there and be like, oh, yeah, I know how to salsa. Yeah, I know how to fucking bust a move. You want to go to a dance class with me? Like, bro, the amount of times they deal with that shit, nobody cares. Oh, yeah, I like that kind of music, too. I'm a Post Malone fan as well. Bro, nobody cares about that shit. Fuck off with all that. Like the amount of times girls get, I like music too, it's through the roof. That bores them. They don't care anymore. Like, the fact that you don't have it on your profile probably will be enough for her to be like, wow, okay. Somebody that's not telling me some bullshit I already know. You know what I mean? Like I said, you show her those things. You show her that you can dance. You put on some music and you just bust a little move and she's like, what are you doing? And you're just like, all right, come on, let's go. You know, and you guys dance and you have a good time. And she sees that side out of you. You don't have to tell her these things. She sees it. So, like I said, I hope that helps. You know what I mean? Like I said, I had to be a little brutally honest with you, but.
So if I could just say really quick, that was almost the equivalent of being a fucking salesman, the same exact process I have for sales. And that was fucking phenomenal, dude. You'd be a killer. You'd be a killer in my industry. But I mean, you're absolutely right. Like I said, I was trying to be a little bit nicer because, I mean, I just feel bad for the fucking guy. You look at his profile, and then the very first picture is not even you fucking smiling.
Yeah,
it's you looking upset next to whatever the fuck you like. You know what I mean? Why the like I said, why the fuck is that your first picture? You know what I mean? But you know, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse because you are absolutely right, Rig 4. You. Oh yeah. The haircut, the fucking vagueness. You just couldn't said it better myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother. You got like if you wanted more advice, you got some fucking deep diving work to fucking do. I'm not gonna lie. From the style to the haircut to the interest to having rats in your fucking mouth. There's a lot going on there. That's why I said it seems like you're trying to attract a very, very particular woman because there's someone out there for everyone, but you're slimming down the funnel. You know what I mean? Like you're slimming down the pickings hard by giving so much away and being very specific with what you put into your profile versus you broaden things out, you're gonna catch more fish, and then from there, like the Rig 4 said, you'll definitely get more matches versus what you're doing now.
Yeah, and dude, you're 25, bro. You got a lot of time. You know what I mean? Yeah.
20. Oh.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
I see the number 25 and I just look at you. I'm like, that's not 25. But
I know. And it's because like the way he dresses, the way his hair looks and stuff like that. And that's why I told him, I was like, bro, you can get a haircut. It's very inexpensive. It's like $30 to go get a haircut, bro. You get a haircut that fits your style, that fits your face, and these people are gonna know. These people are experts. They cut hair all day, every day, my guy. That's what I'm saying. You can even go to a Supercuts, you know, the most average of haircut place, and ask them, hey, I'm just trying to like get a new look, something that fits my face. Like, I would love, you know, any suggestions that you have, anything like that. I'd love to like, you know, see what's up. And bro, they give you a little $30, you know, trim up and haircut, and you're coming out of there looking good, man. Look, your clothes, that's you know, look, clothing is subjective, if I'm being real with you. I get it. There's style and swag and this and that and all that stuff. I get that. But a lot of times I don't dress designer. I don't have fancy clothes. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. And girls tell me all the time that I dress nicely. It's all about just kind of your style and what fits you as a person. So that's why I didn't really harp on his clothes too much. I look at it like it is what it is. It's very subjective. But a haircut, my guy, nah, bro, that's a must. Hair, like having well kept up hair shows that you're clean. It shows that you take care of yourself. It shows that you actually put time and effort into how you look and present yourself. And that says a lot, man. That says a lot. And like he said, I forgot to mention that. I didn't even catch that you're not smiling. Smile, my guy. Show some emotion in your pictures. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, we're not going to be a dead horse. We're going to get on to our next one though. Again, if you're listening, definitely come and watch the video. All right, come and watch the video. Look at homie's profile. Put some stuff down in the comments. You know, encouraging words. Be real. You know, be respectful. Don't go too crazy.
Yeah, for real.
But you know, give him some advice. All right, man. Let's get on to our next one here. Okay, so We got another one.
Great example.
We got our boy Leonardo. All right. So apparently, I think he's on Bumble. I believe this is. And so Leonardo, 31. He said, my dream job is a beer tester. All right. And he's got a pretty decent picture.
Taster.
Oh, taster. Sorry, I can't read. He's got some stuff in a different language. Like, all right. If you can,
I recognize football.
okay, all right. I want to say that's maybe like a Nordic or a German language. I don't know.
I'm sure you could use Google Translate on your phone.
Maybe.
The lens translates in real time or
And
some
then, okay, we got another one. Got his interests. He's out in the snow. Sorry, hold on. Okay, the previous picture, we got to narrate for the audio listeners out there. So he's out on like some kind of frozen lake out here. And then, he's wearing some warm clothes. He's got a little hat on or whatever. And then we got another one. He's out in the snow. My man's smiling, which is good. His interests are walking my dog, pub crawls, barbecue, gym, trying new things, foodie, travel, and beach bars. All right. Got another one. Looks like he's out with his friends. He's out at a bar, but it's just him. And I think this is a great picture to illustrate my point that I was saying about the other guy. Even though you're out and doing stuff with your friends, you post only you. You don't post yourself with friends. You let that kind of be a thing, when you get the girl out on a date, and then you can talk about, my friends do this, blah, blah, blah. So, basics and lifestyle. He works out often. Socially, he drinks socially on the weekends. He's not a smoker. He's got a master's degree. He, I guess, talks better in person than he does in text. And he has a dog, I think. There's another one I think of him at like an event, I believe. I want to say
it's at his university. It looks like
okay,
maybe like a graduation or some shit.
All right. And then you got a mirror selfie. All right, that's and then you have music on there. Mirror selfies are probably the worst thing you can do. If I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
And then again, putting music on there, bro. Nobody cares. Okay, nobody cares. I'll first rip. Nobody cares. Let's just be honest. Then you got him at the beach, you know what I mean? Topless photo, more music. Again, nobody cares about your music, bro. They just don't. Everybody listens to music. A girl doesn't want to know, like off the rip, a girl doesn't want to know your music interest. She doesn't. She wants to find that out later on. Again, intrigue, guys. Intrigue. A picture of you on the beach, topless, stuff like that. Look, man, unless you have like a really impressive body, stay away from topless pictures, okay? As a man, unless you have like a really impressive physique, just stay away from it. All right, look, you don't look bad. I'm not saying that you look bad or anything like that, or you need to like change anything. I'm just saying a woman's gonna look at that and off first jump, she's just gonna be like, ick, and that's just what that comes down to. Like, it's not me getting on you. It's just a simple thing of like, look, man, they're just gonna first look at that and be like, ugh. All right, what do you think, Rig 4, off of our boy Leonardo's picture?
So yeah, Leonardo. What was the initial fucking Reddit post? It says, I know the bar is high in Sweden. Something about like what could I fucking fix on my profile, right? So
yeah, just advice to get more matches. I guess he's not getting any.
Yeah, I mean, from the jump, I would definitely say your eye contact, your photos suggest you're very confident in yourself and your looks. So, I mean, and you're not wrong for that, right? You definitely have, some generalistic good looks to you. And I mean, just like I said, you want to put your most interesting photos first, where it's like it's you doing the same shit, walking in the open snow, and it's like, that's cool, right? But like I said with the Zac Efron thing, where it's like, aside from the Zac Efron portion of it, you just standing and having different angles taken of you.
Like he's an attractive guy, but there's nothing of substance in the pictures.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, we get it, dude. You're Leonardo. Yeah, that's already been established, brother.
Yeah,
we know what you look like. And that's what I'm getting at. Where at least for you, show a little bit more of your hobbies. Your dream job being a beer taster. I mean, from my perspective, you don't have any more ambition than fucking tasting beer for the rest of your fucking life, dude. Yeah, I mean, like, so I don't know you know, how many women are like, dude, my dream husband tastes beer for fucking, you know?
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
a dream job, you know? And it's
Yeah.
like, look, dude, I'm not saying don't have your dream job. What I mean is, if you're going to advertise it, you got to advertise the end goal of like whatever success is tied to that, you know? Beer tasting itself, I mean, I go out every fucking weekend and taste beer. I'm not going to fucking do that as my job, you know? Like, that's also not really going to get me anywhere, right? Even if I was paid to do it. So, like, that's what I'm getting at, where it's like, all right, brother, look. As far as, like the Rica said before, you know, you put in more vagueness, or you put in, like, it's like the example of, like, when people ask you, like, what do you do for work, you know? You can tell them what you do, or you can generalize it and, like, I fucking help people make financial decisions for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? You're like, what the fuck does that mean? So you're like an accountant or something? Well, you'll have to figure that out when we talk, you know? Same thing for you. Can you, like, flip through these pictures really quick again? Yeah, in another language, pub crawls, barbecue, non-smoker. Yeah, master's degree. Okay, university. Yeah, so that's like another thing too. Like you have a master's degree and your dream job is beer tasting. Did you fucking go to school for beer tasting, or what the fuck's that about, you know? And then yeah, there's just a few things that I would personally do, right? Me personally, like the Rica said, if you're gonna post yourself like shirtless or at the beach or whatever, right? You put in your profile that you work out often, but it doesn't show, right?
Yeah.
That's just from my perspective,
Yeah.
right? I'm not tooting my own horn, but like I've definitely been compared to like Venom, you know what I mean? And not necessarily in size, but in shape. Does that make sense? So it's like those kind of things will be apparent when you actually consistently work out and eat right and whatever, right? So I would just dial yourself back a little bit, because it seems like you're a little bit more confident than I guess you should be. And then from there, try to display more of what's interesting about you. You know what I mean? Don't just fucking assume that your looks, like your profile kind of suggests, are going to get you further than what they haven't been, right? Because if they were getting you somewhere, you wouldn't be posting this to us, right? Yeah, so that's just what I'm getting at.
Okay. All right. Like, I'm probably, my advice is probably going to overlap a lot of yours, but maybe in a little different ways. But, you know, we'll take it from the top. Look, I truly think we'll start with your first one. You know, when you say my dream job is, okay, for women, they don't care. They don't care what your dream job is. They want to know what you're doing right now. They want to know what your job is right now. And like, again, like he said, keep it vague. You know what I mean? You kind of want to have that intrigue of just like, oh, but at the same time, look, okay, when girls go on dating apps, and they see your occupation, they Google your occupation. You know what I mean? They Google your occupation to see what it is that you do. They want to see how much money you make. They want to see what like that lifestyle in that job is like. They want to see what that schedule is like in that job, because this all matters to women. It matters, like, is our schedules going to line up? Is our lifestyle is going to line up? Are we going to have the same goals, like work-wise and stuff like that? Women want to know these things, and that's why you over here saying that your dream job is being a beer taster, nobody cares. Okay? Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who cares? So what you're going to do is you're going to change that, and you're going to change it to what you actually do. You're going to be like, my dream job is what I'm doing now. Okay? Your job now. That's what you're going to do. You're going to change, my dream job is what I do now. Because that is what's going to matter for her. Is what you're doing now. It's like saying, hey girl, what's up? I'm going to get a 6-pack in 6 weeks. She's like, I don't give a fuck. You don't have a 6-pack now. You know what I mean? Versus like, I slide my shirt up and I got a fucking 6-pack. And she's like, God damn. You know what I mean? There's a difference in it. They only care what you got now. They don't care what you want to get, what you're gonna get. They don't give a shit about that, bro. Women don't care. They want to see it now. All right. Now, what I do like about the whole different language thing is it does invoke like that curiosity of, ooh, does he speak another language? You better know how to speak this language, nigga. All right, because if you don't know how to speak this language, you can get on a date with this girl and she's just like, what the fuck, nigga? You just chat GPT'd some shit. It's going to kill a lot of interest for you. All right, it is. It's going to kill a lot of fucking interest for you. You better know how to speak that language. But that overall, though, I give it a W. I won't lie to you. I do give it a W. Now, you talk about having a dog, but where the fuck is this dog, nigga?
It's in the last picture.
Is it in the last one? Let me see.
At the bottom there. I think that's his dog.
Okay.
Or whatever that animal is.
Okay, you can't even fucking see it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Even more to my point. Where's the dog, bro?
Yeah.
Where's the nobody like he's got a keen eye and he's looking out for things because he's actually trying to analyze your profile. A woman though, all she saw was your flabby ass on the fucking beach.
Yeah.
That's it, bro. She didn't see a dog. You gotta show the dog. Have a picture of you and your dog side by side. Have a professional picture done. Have your friend take a picture. Your mom, I don't give a shit. Have somebody take a picture of you and your dog. Have a video if you can do videos. If you can't do videos, that's fine. Do a picture of you playing with your dog. You walking your dog. Like, women want to see these things. They don't want to be told these things. Women are like... We've gotten into a world nowadays where, you know, women used to be, it's all about, you know, what they hear and what you say. Nowadays, bro, modern women don't give a fuck about what you got to say or what they're reading on, you know what I mean? They don't care about that anymore. They want to see it. They want to see it. They want to be in it with you. They want you to walk them through that experience, all of that. So if you enjoy walking your dog and you got a dog and all that kind of stuff, then yes, do that. Bro, also, you're a foodie. Where's the food, nigga? Where's the food?
Where's the barbecue?
I don't see any food. I don't see anything. Like, you're a foodie. Great. Fantastic. So is everybody else. You know what I mean? Again, waste of time. Travel's a good one. Beach bars, who cares? Trying new things, so is everybody else. Dude, a lot of your interests are shit that every other man has on his profile.
Yeah.
There's nothing unique to you at all except for like your dog. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, not everybody, you know, has a dog, or not everybody likes dogs. Not everybody is an animal person, whatever. So I do give you brownie points, but it's like half brownie points because, you know, so like me personally, I don't have an animal, you know what I mean? But you do. And so if we were both, you know, trying to vie attention from a woman who is an animal lover, she'd probably choose you over me. You see what I mean? Like, that is something significant. But this whole pub crawl thing, the barbecue and the gym and trying new things and travels and beach bars, but they don't care for that. That's not going to be something that makes her choose you over other guys. Every guy travels. Every guy goes to bars. Right. Every guy wants to try something new. Every dude says they're in the gym. Like, bro, choose things that are more tailored to you specifically, that make you stand out. It's not just this generic crap that you got going on.
Especially because on the page where it's listed, you have not a single one of those depicted. Like, what are you doing in this photo?
Yeah.
Where you're listing your interests, but you're not doing not a single one of those interests in this photo. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. If you're on a hike, if you're walking your dog, whatever the fucking case may be. So
yeah. So it's like, dude, you're not showing these interests. They're like, oh, those are interests, but like, I don't see you doing any of these things. It's like a guy that's trying to date an athletic girl and he's just like, oh yeah, I love hikes. Hikes are amazing. And then they finally go out on a date and this nigga's like, oh fuck, is this almost done? And she's like, I thought you liked hikes. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you, the next time she gets up on the dating apps, if a guy doesn't have hiking in his fucking pictures, she's not picking you, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. So again, tailor your interests. Now, you have count them, 2 slides of music. Bro, no one gives a shit. No one cares. No one cares about music. Everybody listens to music. I like music. He likes music. She likes music. He likes music. They like music. Everybody likes music, bro. Showing your musical interests, no one cares. not like off of first rip, first view of your profile. A woman doesn't care about that. They want to find out that later. They want that, like, use that precious space to show more of your personality, to show more of you, to show like to gain that intrigue. You know what I mean? Hobbies, whatever that may be. Like, I think you just kind of took the lazy way out and was just like, fuck it, this is easier to put in a dating app, so I'm just going to put some albums on there. Like, nah, bro, show things that you've done. Show accomplishments that you have made. You know what I mean? Instead of putting other people's accomplishments on your profile. That's what putting music on your profile does, is you're just putting other people's accomplishments on your shit and being like, yeah, I like those. Do you like those? Like, that's not attractive. That's not attractive to a woman. And a woman is not going to see that and be like, yum, he likes Avenged Sevenfold. Just like the other 3.5 million other men that love Avenged Sevenfold. Bro, come on, man. Like, you're not really standing out. You got to stand out on these dating apps. You have to show things that are interesting to you, your hobbies to you, things that you're good at. Because what is a thing that women say that they love to see a guy doing? They love when they see that you're ambitious and good at what you enjoy doing. They love that shit. If you're really good at building things, they love to just watch you being good at building things. That shit's hot. If you're good at being a maintenance man or whatever and you can fix shit, they love watching you fix shit. They love to see you good at what you're good at, man. And you showed none of that here.
Yes. Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
They're like, the fuck does this dude do all day? Does he just drink beer and go to work? Because that's all you're saying. All you're saying to a girl is, hi, I'm Leonardo. I'm 31 and all I do is drink and walk my dog that you've never seen. That may or may not exist. So it's like, dude, you got to show a little more personality. You got to show a little more of your interest. Things that are unique to you. You guys are kind of missing it here.
Yeah, I would say it's almost as if it's one of those. It's like when you go up for like a job interview or some shit where you list all your accomplishments, or it's like, all right, well, like, tell me a little bit about, it's on your resume here. It says, tell me a little bit about the time you were in a leadership role and you fucking, you impacted your team or something. And you're like, well,
no. It's like they asked that question and you were just like, walking my dog, beer pubs, barbecue. And they're like, what? That's not what I asked. I asked for a time that you had leadership. And you're just like, trying new things, dude.
Yeah.
A Google Schmagenfargen.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's not what the women are asking. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great analogy. These women are like, hey, show me a time that you had leadership skills. And you're just like, walking my dog, dude.
Yeah.
Trying new things. Avenged Sevenfold. And they're like, I didn't fucking ask that.
Yeah.
Like, what? I want to know, like, I want to know what my future's going to look like with you.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, where we're going to go in the future if this turns into something. Yeah. Like, I want to know that you got a stable, lifestyle. If your lifestyle fits my lifestyle. Like, dude. But yeah. No, that's a good one.
I don't know. Yeah, for me personally, it's just like you said, and this is not to beat a dead horse or anything, but it's at the same time, like, it has to be harped on, because at the same time you're over here, like, you have all these interests listed, and then, brother, I mean, how many other people that like fucking barbecue, right? Like, this is all very basic shit. Like,
yeah, it's very arbitrary.
It's not like you go to any one of these places and then, like, you're the only one there. Like, fucking everyone's there.
She's like, what? You're taking me to a barbecue? No one's ever done that.
No one's ever. Oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying new things? Wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah. Fucking the same thing with the dog. It's like, damn, dude, like, I have my own fucking dog. What? Like, who gives a shit about, you know what I mean? If you're not doing something interesting where it's like, I have recordings of my PRs at the gym, you know what I mean? And that's I don't post those anywhere, but it's like, if you go to the gym, you should have some type of physical, some accountability for that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Whether it's like you running, it's you being out with friends, being active, stuff like that. Yeah, 100%.
Because that shit will put in a woman's mind, like, okay, if shit hits the fan, I know what this motherfucker looks like running, or I know what this man looks like pushing himself, or whatever the fucking case may be. You know what I mean? Or like, you go out with your dog and it's like, all right, this motherfucker does have like caring compassion in him because he's taking his dog out or whatever the fuck. You know
Yeah,
what I
it
mean?
shows
Like,
you know how to take care of the dog. It's
Yeah.
not just I have it.
Yeah,
It's just at home.
There's messages behind interest and like what you have going on, right? But for you, you're not displaying any of that shit, dude. You're just like being generic and hoping that it fucking lands somewhere.
Yeah, bars.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, you're already like looks wise, you're already like a basic 5 white guy. You are, you know what I mean? And honestly, like if you focused a lot more on your interests and showing those interests and showing those hobbies, you can push into that 6 to 7 range with a girl because she's gonna be like, ooh, okay, you know, he's a decently handsome guy, good smile, good teeth, seems like he's, you know, clean kept, well kept.
Yeah.
You know, you got a good haircut, you got a trimmed beard, you know what I mean, you got a good little smile on you, clean teeth, whatever, like that'll be enough to just be like, okay, let me dig a little deeper. She's already got you at that 5. And then she sees all this generic stuff and she's just like, all right, man, there's nothing like that stands out with this guy.
Right.
Cool. On to the next. You know, and then you got Chad over here and Chad's like, oh, you know, and he's showing himself pickleballing and, you know, he's out kayaking and shit, you know, and she's like, damn, wow, okay. You know, he's a medium, you know, he's a medium ugly white guy but he's doing all this cool shit. Hell yeah. You know, like that's the difference between you and Chad.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, Leonardo was boring as shit, but Chad over here though, he was showing me some shit.
Yeah.
So again, they want to see it, man. They want to see it. Like you guys you're 31, and you're a guy, so it's not like you don't have time to turn it around, man. You could still turn this shit around. You know, you got a good foundation, and like the other guy, he's got a lot of work to do, but he's a lot younger.
Yeah.
He's a lot younger, so he's got a lot more time to work on those things. I think understood that, hey, I don't got time to, you know, be dilly-dallying with the foundational shit. I need to get that shit taken care of, and I think you did, which is great. You just got to be more interesting, man. That's just what that kind of comes down to. But yeah, that's going to be that. Hopefully you guys, I guess, enjoyed it. You know, leave our boy Leonardo and our other boy Matt some words of encouragement. Help them out with their profiles, man. You know, if you agreed with us, let us know. If you got some things you either want to add or rebuttal or whatever the case may be. If you're a girl out there and, you know, you saw Leonardo or you saw Matt and you're just like, oh, shit. You know, hit them up. See what's up. You know what I mean? Let them know. Let them know you love them. So, all right, we're going to get on into our thread for today. We still got a thread. Our thread. Okay, that was stupid. I don't know why it decided to assassinate itself.
Bruh.
But it did. Yeah, I was right there. Okay, here we go. On our thread is, what's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in public? What is the most hilarious thing that's ever happened to you in public?
Damn, it's hard to remember because I kind of was like, all right, that was embarrassing. Let me data dump that so I don't have to like, relive it. You know?
That's facts. That's facts.
Dude, I can't think of any.
All right, I'll tell mine, and then hopefully you can remember yours. All right. Oh, bro. All right, I'm telling on myself. Never told this story on the podcast before, but here we go. I was at the grocery store. Okay, I was at the grocery store doing my thing, getting my groceries, whatnot. I happened to keep running into this girl over and over. We kept just hitting the same aisles, and I was like, "Are you following me?" You know, that's a joke or whatever. She's like, "No, I'm not." Blah blah blah. We hit it again, and we hit the same aisle again, and I was like, "Yeah, you're following me." She was like, "Maybe I am," and I was like, and so I thought it would be like smooth, right? To like walk backwards and like my hands are behind my back on the cart or whatever, and I'm walking backwards. I trip over my own foot and I fall right on my ass. And she watched the whole thing, laughed at me, and then bust the corner. I was like, oh shit! I was like,
Bruh.
Damn.
Damn. I was trying to look cool. I was trying to look suave. You know what I mean? I was trying to just, you know, because I was trying to maintain that eye contact. It was one of those things where we were just maintaining that eye contact the whole way, you know. And then I like turned around and I was just holding my thing and I was pushing it backwards. And then I just tripped over my own foot and I was like, oh shit, fell right on my ass. And I was like, shit, fuck me. It was bad. It was when she gave me one of those looks like, nigga can't walk.
Damn it. Damn.
And I was like, oh, fuck, man. Yeah, I can't walk, apparently. So, yeah, that's mine.
I mean, the one time I could remember, right, this was when I was a little bit younger.
Okay.
So I'm no stranger to Costco, right? Costco's got some really great deals on clothes, right?
Okay.
However, in my younger days, I was very inattentive as to what was like, what I was doing, right? Like I would just not pay attention when I was doing shit, right? So, like long story short, right? I ended up buying this really sweet jacket,
Okay.
And I was rocking that shit everywhere, It's like one of those like pilot jackets, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. The brown
then,
leather. And
yeah,
the little...
brown. It was like a lighter color though, like it was like a beige, I guess you want to call it,
All right,
so I was just like rocking that everywhere, and then fucking I kept getting like a lot of compliments on it too, where like women would be like, dude, that's a really nice jacket, blah blah blah, and then like one day I went to like go zip it up and I was like, why is the zipper on the left side? Like what is that? And then my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was like, I think that's a girl jacket. And I was like, no fucking way, dude. So she starts dying in the middle of the store.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, fuck, get this shit off of me, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, dude.
And you were just like shredding, you can tell by the way I move my
Wore that shit confidently.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. But I think the problem was, I think women could tell, and that's why they're like, oh, yeah, it's such a great jacket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They probably thought I was a little fruity or some shit, but they're like, oh, yeah, that's a great jacket, whatever. And I'm
damn.
Like, yeah, fucked me up, dude.
Damn, bro.
Scarred me. I have not worn a leather jacket since.
I wouldn't either.
No.
I wouldn't either. All right, man. That's our embarrassing stories in public. You guys let us know yours down in the comments. Let's get on into today's thread here. Our first one is, I was walking through a high street in London feeling good as the sun was out. A wasp decided to fly in my shorts pocket and I freaked out. I could feel the little fucker buzzing, so in a state of shock and now not wanting to get stung, I began to take off my shorts and wave them around in the air to free the wasp. It was a good day to go commando. Oh, but I had no choice. People across the street must have thought I was just another nutter getting his cock out. What a ride that was. Damn.
That's insane.
Bro had his dick and berries all out in the streets.
Yeah.
Bro, at that point, I would have just got stung, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah, especially it's one of those moments where like if you're a grower, oh man, yo shit out there small as fuck, like
on
bro,
a cold day, small as fuck, yeah.
And he lives in London, so it's probably constantly cold and overcast and shit. Damn.
There's someone just out there like, you fucking wanker, put your shorts back on.
Yeah.
And you're like,
get
it's
your
a wasp.
little peck out of the street.
Yeah, there's a wasp, bro. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, you can't explain that.
Yeah, you can't. Unless you bring the dead body. You're like, look, no, it was legitimately in there. But
they're like, oi, that's a good story, but I don't believe it.
Yeah,
you're
a
like,
fucking weirdo that don't wear underwear, and you carry around a dead a wasp. Yeah. What the fuck's wrong with this?
Just so you can show your peck up on the street. God damn.
Yeah, you're a cook, brother.
Yeah, bro. Damn.
Some people, you gotta understand. Just take the fucking L, dude. Crush it in your fucking pocket or some shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Kill him or something, dude. Because you gotta just
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Showing your wiener is a no go.
Cooked, bro. Cooked. All right. What's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? When my mom was a high school freshman, she was extremely infuriated with my dad, who was a junior, but she was painfully shy and didn't know he didn't know that she was alive. Her English class was being held outdoors one day. Weather was nice, and she saw my dad on the soccer field lifting the hem of his shirt to wipe his brow. The teacher called her name before loudly saying, "Miss," their mom's name. If you could spare a moment from your busy boy oogling schedule to answer my question, I'm sure Mr. and then his name would be happy to accommodate you after school. Yeah, he said it's so loud that my dad heard, looked over and smirked while a couple of his buddies laughed. To this day, my mom calls it one of her worst memories. My dad has no recollection of this event. Yeah, because he probably didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
He probably was just like, what the fuck is that girl talking about over there? Like, what the heck? And she's just like, holy shit, homie, like, noticed me. Yeah.
That was probably like the How I Met Your Mother type shit. You know what I mean? Like fucking, yeah, stop looking at him. And then he's like, damn, is she looking at me? Fucking easy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold up. Wrong one. There you go.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, this shit's easy. And she's over here mortified. And it's like, yeah, were you going to make a move any other way?
You know?
Your teacher hooked you up, dude. That's
Facts.
a fucking blessing.
Hey, that was a fucking layup if I've ever seen one.
Better than pre-ordering your ass.
You know? I mean, technically he did because, you know, he was a junior while she was a freshman. So, you know, when homeboy graduated, he was just like, yeah, let me put I graduated, so I got to put my $5 down so I can keep my pre-order.
Make payments over time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, on to the next one. What's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? I was walking alone on the Venice Beach Ocean front walk, and I got shit on by a fucking pelican. From on high this bucket. From on high, this bucket of pelican shit hit me center mass and knocked me down. I was covered in it. People near me were like, what was that? And this dude goes, holy crap, that's pelican shit. Thankfully, he helped me up and gave me his towel. The next words out of his mouth were, you should play the lottery. Bro, he didn't just get like a little, you know, no, he got a bucket of pelican doo-doo. Like, yo, it hit him so hard, homie fell to the ground.
Yeah, and that's I hope there's not a video of that out there.
Oh,
because you're cooked for life.
There probably is.
You're done. You're cooked for life. Known as the man that got hit with a bucket of shit, and not only that, knocked down. You know what I mean? It's one thing. It was like, damn, fuck, dude, but it knocked your ass down. It took you out, and then you're gonna have to try to find a woman that's gonna be like, yeah, he'll defend me in a fight.
You're right.
No, dude, ain't you the nigga that got hit by pelican shit? Yeah, this is easy.
They're gonna be like, your boyfriend is the pelican shit guy?
Yeah.
No way.
You're cooked. You're cooked, brother. Oh my god.
Oh, bro, that's terrible, man.
Fuck.
I ain't gonna lie to you, when he said pelican shit, I was just like, all right, you know, is what it is, a little splat or whatever. But then this nigga said it was a bucket, and I'm like, what did he say? Bro, a bucket? Yeah. Bro, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Oh my god.
I would have probably had to get my get back, honestly. I would have had to find that pelican, break its neck.
100%, man. 100%, bro. Dude. Or whoever put that bucket up there.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, what's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that has happened to you in public? My second grade class was in the Tulip Time parade, and we were all dressed up in Dutch costumes. Mine had a black hat, a red shirt with scarf, and those big gold Mickey Mouse buttons on the front of of black pants. Several people complimented my outfit, and my mom had made it so second grade. Me was stoked. Okay. Oh, her mom made it. Okay.
So second grade him. Was
yeah. Okay. Every grade had a different theme. They had us in lines holding long wood poles with the state bird on them. I was the one on the end by my mom who walked with us. The whole community and a ton of tourists showed up for this thing every year. It's a whole thing. Halfway through the route, a ton of people started cheering, laughing, and pointing at me when I came up. My mom and I both smiled and waved at everyone, living it up. I was feeling pretty good until I looked down toward the end and realized my two good buttons had been sheared off by the state bird, and the front flap of my pants was hanging open. And I had paraded around half the town with my little tidy whitey showing. I started to cry, and my mom had to hold my pants up for the rest of the parade until someone from the crowd ran up with some safety pins. And I will never forget this experience in my life, and neither will my hometown, because my mom wrote for the paper, "Good times." Damn.
Jesus. Now you've been immortalized in your town as the 7-year-old with his whitey tighties out, dude.
You know? And your mom is the one that put it in the paper.
Yeah. I know for him that probably felt pretty bad, but for me listening, I'm like, well, whatever, dude, you're fucking
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Listening
Like,
to it, it's like, whatever. It is what it is. But I get it. At the time, though, I guarantee that was probably the most mortifying fucking thing that's ever happened to you in your 7-year-old life. You know?
I guarantee there's not other people out there that's like, ha, he had his fucking whitey tighties out, dude. Fucking idiot. He's not going to amount to anything. No, dude, like, yeah, you know, I know, like I said, I know it felt a lot worse, but it's like, that's not that bad. Really.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know
Like,
what I mean?
it is what it is, bro.
Especially because you're a little kid. Now, if you were like 16, 17 and that happened and somehow your fucking pants were down, your fucking wiener flopped out, or like the first gentleman that fucking in the middle of London had to bring his shit out, you know, that's a little bit different. But this one is like, dude, you're 7 years old, it's fine.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you be all right, bro. You be all right.
Yeah, you be all right, brother.
But it's a fun story to tell, at least.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, what's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? I was at the deli counter in a supermarket with my 5-year-old great-granddaughter. We had number 34, and the clerk was waiting on a woman with number 32 struggling to decide what she wanted. My great-granddaughter said, "Come on, lady, I want to get out of here while I'm still young. Yo." Damn. Yeah, man. It's like, I could see how that could be embarrassing only on the simple fact that it's just like, hey, yo, chill.
Yeah,
Yo, chill. You don't know what the woman is capable of. You know what I mean? Especially the shit you see nowadays. Man, motherfuckers don't give a shit no more, bro. It be on sight sometimes. Yeah, no, I feel it.
And that's, I mean, yeah, for me, that's not necessarily embarrassing because I want my children. They've always been real. I've wanted them to keep that realness with them. You know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, my daughter will call shit as she sees it. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I've gone to the store with her and, like, workers will be rude and she, like, sees it, picks up on it, and she's, like, right in front of them. She'll be like, "Dad, why is that man not talking to you? He's not saying words when he should be answering your questions." And I'm like, you know, I don't know. I'll just look at the employee and they're like, "Oh, well, and I'm like, you know, if a 4-year-old can recognize it, right? This was when she was 4 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, you probably should have a better fucking attitude about. I get it, right? You work at fucking wherever the fuck, you know, you make minimum wage or just above it, but it's like, that's not my fault. You're going to be fucked up to me because you don't like your job?
Exactly.
Stupid.
Exactly. It's like, bro, come on, man. A little common courtesy. Now, I understand, you know, if you want to be like that because the customer is being rude.
Right.
Like, I get that. That's different. But it's like if the customer's giving you no reason to give that kind of attitude, it's like, bro, come on.
Yeah, and we still talk about it to this day. My favorite memory of us going out to eat is when that guy was like, "I didn't come here to read. I came here to eat.
Yeah.
You tell me the specials."
Like okay, you want to talk about embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, we're at KFC and we had ordered, we were sitting down and just chilling. This guy walks in and
Grown
he's
man,
just,
by the way.
grown man, by the way. Was he with his kids or anything like that? Was he by himself?
No, I think he was by himself, honestly.
Okay, because I think
fool.
I wanted to say I remembered him with, like, his daughter or, like, a little girl or whatever. But I could be wrong. But, mind you, he walks in. He walks up to the thing, and he's just like, "Oh, you know, what are your sides?" And the lady, like, points up to them, and he's like, "Can you read them to me? I didn't come here to read. I came here to eat."
That is verbatim. Not an exaggeration. That is verbatim.
Yeah,
What he said.
and we're like, what the fuck?
And this young lady, right, she's probably a teenager, right? Probably about as old as we were.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Because, like, she's like, "Dude, we got not a lot, but we got a different amount of sides." You know what I mean? Like, you can just see them right there. That's what they are.
Yeah,
right?
like that's why they're displayed up there like that.
I guarantee no one goes to his job and like list out everything that you have to offer.
Exactly.
Like, motherfucker, like, you have something for him to read or whatever.
Yeah.
And then for you to show up at a KFC and you're like, yeah, whatever fucking happens, I'm not fucking reading shit in that bitch. I'm not fucking reading there. If they try to get me to read, I'm not having it.
Yeah.
Grown man, by the way. This man was not young in any form of the fucking meaning of young. You know what I mean? He was bald. Had a little bit of gray hair on the sides, not on the top, on the sides. And he's like, I didn't come here to read. I came here to eat.
Yeah. Like, bro, talk about embarrassing.
Where the fuck does that work at, by the way? Where is he gone where they're like, I'm so sorry I made you read, sir. Let me go ahead and list everything for you.
Like, this poor girl literally just, like, leaned over the thing and was like, oh,
Yeah.
mac and cheese and, and I'm just like, bruh, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're doing to her? Like,
And he probably felt pretty great. Like, yeah, you read it to me. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? That's
Weirdo.
embarrassing.
Yeah, facts. Like, that's embarrassing. All right, let's get on to our next one. What's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that has happened to you in public? I got jumped by a squirrel on my college campus when walking to class. I screamed. Everyone stared and then laughed. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, bro.
I don't have to know that that's a woman to know that's a woman.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Yep.
Yeah, because a dude would have stomped that fucking thing out.
Yeah. Would have just
Yeah, exactly.
killed it real quick and then throw it on the ground like, fuck you.
Yeah,
But
or he would have pushed it to the ground and just fucking stomped that bitch out.
I
Like,
guaranteed, yeah. It scurried up. She got scared. It was like, fucking idiot. I'm on top of the food chain now. Started fucking her up. She screamed, and then everyone was like, fucking dumbass, dude.
yeah, they were just like, oh, look at that girl getting beat the fuck up.
Got beat up by a squirrel? You're dumb, dude. You're literally stupid. On a college campus? You're dumb.
You're
Yeah.
supposed to be
You're
educated.
supposed to be educated. How you educate? You get an education, you don't know a squirrel is not a threat to you. Dumbass.
Oh, shit, bro. All right, on to our next one. What's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? I was in grade school and we had these desks with the metal rack below for our books. One day in class, I bent over to retrieve one of my books and ripped a massive fart. The entire class, thankfully the teacher wasn't in yet, erupted in uncontrollable laughter, and kids pointed and laughed at me the rest of the day, saying I shit my pants. Damn,
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Damn. Bro could not beat the allegations all day.
Yeah.
I bet the girl that he liked, they had went up to her and was just like, hey, you know Tommy shit his pants in first period, right? Like, bro bent over and just doo-doo is in his pants. Don't go talking to him. I don't know if you want to talk to shit pants McGee over there, but damn.
And that's the thing. What, it was in middle school or high school?
He said.
Or did it say?
Well, it's grade school.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure it's in
elementary,
between,
I think, or maybe up to 8th grade. But
because it depends. Like, because
yeah,
I know,
you're right.
I know overseas they considered grade because it's primary school and grade school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then high school.
So middle school for us, right? I know in middle school, it's the worst thing in the world is to have normal bodily functions, right? Like you fucking go somewhere, right? You're in the lunchroom. If you're the kid that threw up once, you're fucked for the rest of the year.
Oh, 100%.
You get caught shitting in one of the stalls, you're fucked for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking whatever, dude.
And
Whatever
you're like,
it is.
I can't shit in the stalls. That's what they're designed for.
Yeah. You
You're
drink
like,
one too many milks, you're fucked for the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Any fucking reason, these people are on your fucking ass for the rest of the goddamn year. And maybe for the rest of the time you're at that school.
oh, dude, you pop a random boner, man. You're
Yeah,
just like
fucked for the rest of the year.
fucked. And I remember as a kid, bro. Oh, dude, middle school, my shit was constantly just like, what's going on? And I'm like, shit, dude. And it was one of those things where like, do you remember that girl? Her name was Elise. You remember her?
Yeah.
Dude, I had like the biggest fucking crush on her, and every time I saw her, man, I popped a boner, dude. And I was just like, God damn it, man. And I remember in one of our classes, I sat like right next to her, because you remember like there were desks that faced forward and then there were desks that faced
sideways.
yeah. And I sat in that side desk and she sat like right in front of me in the front, and I was just like, God damn it, I'm bricked up this whole class, son. It was bad, bro. There were some days where, like, I was the last to get up out of class because I'm just like, man, I got to wait for this to, like, calm down, you know?
Yeah.
Like, bro, that shit sucked.
And yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, dude. I would say we sat next to a lot of fucking beautiful women in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Not elementary. Middle school, right? And that was a problem, dude. You just
Yeah,
fucking,
man.
God damn it, dude.
And that, like I said, that goes to, like, what you were saying, you know, any bodily function, bro, and
Yeah,
you get
fuck
caught,
the
bro,
rest,
you're
yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over, man.
Over.
Ah, dude. All right, on to our next one. What is the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you in public? I've had a million of mortifying moments, most of them just plain sad, but one of the more lighthearted incidents occurred when I was at tennis lessons in middle school. It was a group lesson with all my friends plus cute boys. We were in line taking turns hitting a ball fed to us by the instructor, who was also young and cute. When it was my turn, I swung really hard trying to impress everyone, but let out a loud squeaky pop of a fart at the same time. My face turned bright red and I couldn't look at anyone in the eyes. Worst part is that for the next hour or so, I was making fart noises with my mouth in an attempt to trick everyone into thinking that the initial noise came from my mouth. I don't know why I was like that. Couldn't get away from everyone thinking that I possibly had skid marks in my underwear. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Like we said, you have any bodily function.
That's fucked up.
And they're like, yep, cooked for life, dude.
Yeah, bro, just cooked.
Yeah.
And especially for a girl.
Yeah.
Especially for a girl. Like, for a dude, it is what it is. Like, we're disgusting and this and that, and we're gross and farting, whatever. But for a girl, that's gotta suck. And then you're just walking around like, no, we're... Like, what are you guys talking about? You know, it's like, like, that is probably the more embarrassing part than the farting. All right, is you're over here just, oh yeah, well, you know, guys, what's going on?
Yeah.
Because
then they're like, this bitch is making shit.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
it's so obvious that first one was not your fucking mouth.
Yeah. I think that's where the skid marks comment came from. Then I think what it is if you wouldn't have done the whole fake farting thing, they probably wouldn't have said anything. They probably have just been like, it's probably the wind, you know, whatever. But the fact that you were kind of kept drawing attention back to it, they were like, yeah, no, that bitch got skid marks in her panties.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just one of those things where, like, for any embarrassing moment, you own it, it loses its power, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I fucking farted, dude, like everyone does.
Yeah, and you'd be like, come here, I'm gonna fart on you or some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
like whatever the fuck.
All right, what's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? Pissed my pants in the side of a bus or busy highway while forced to do a sobriety check in the middle of the day. I wasn't drunk, I was stone cold sober, but I had food poisoning mid-test. I started to get the dry heaves. My already bursting bladder could take no more and let out. Not cute little tinkles, but a full gusher. The irony is that I was on my way home after testifying in court. Fun day all around. Damn.
That's a woman. That's a
Damn,
woman.
son. Like, imagine you were in court testifying for some shit, and then you're like, man, I'm sick as shit, but I had to do this because, you know, obviously it's against the law to not go to court.
Right.
And then you're like, I got to take a piss. I should have peed at the courthouse, but I didn't. I'm going to just speed home. You get pulled over, and then they think you're drunk, and you're over here just like, fuck, whatever. Let it go. Let it go. Like, bruh. And they probably still gave you a ticket.
Yeah, and that's the reason I point out that it's a woman is because from my experience, right, it's a lot harder to hold your pee as a woman than it is as a dude, right? We have, I don't know, I guess more strength muscle in the forefront versus them, but
no, it's a dude. It was a dude.
it was a dude.
It was a dude.
Why did he say cute little tinkles?
I don't fucking know. I don't know.
No, it's a girl. Anyways,
I have no idea.
You're a girl. But yeah, cute little tinkles. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like, bro, what the
Are you
fuck?
talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, never mind then.
Yeah, I thought it was a girl too. I won't gonna lie to you. That's why I was like, let me check their profile. See, but it's a dude.
the fuck's wrong with you, brother?
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, yeah, food poisoning, right? It's harder to like hold your bearing or whatever. But like when you're writing this shit out, dude, fucking cute little tinkers. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh my God, bro.
All right, brother. Well, you know.
Yeah.
I hope you didn't fucking get arrested where like because I'm sure the officer saw you pissed yourself and was like, this guy's definitely drunk, dude.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they were like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like,
Yeah, can't hold your piss in the middle of a sobriety test.
Get
You're
the fuck in
fucked.
my car, dude.
Yeah, if you're in there.
You're going to jail. Super cooked. All right, this is going to be our last one for this thread. What's the most hilariously embarrassing thing that's happened to you in public? Probably the least dark but most funny embarrassing thing I did during my drunken 20s. Severe alcoholic from age 22 to 29 was doing a whole job interview while blacked out. I had taken Valium so I wouldn't have withdrawals or alcohol on my breath, and then made the fateful decision to have a couple gulps of vodka anyway. My roommate who drove me to the interview was used to me being drunk, so he thought I was holding it together pretty well. I have no recollection of the following, but was told later how it went. According to my other friend who got me to the interview, the HR person knew I was fucked up right away. Damn.
God.
I told her I had worked in the hotel business for over 40 years. I insisted on being hired as a GM even though I was interviewing for a night desk clerk position.
Excellent.
And when confronted about being drunk, I told them I couldn't afford my services and broke her office door on the way out.
Excellent.
Woke up the next day thinking I had missed the interview until my disappointed friend called me.
That's good.
That nigga was like, yo, hey, bro, I missed the interview. He was like, nigga, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Holy shit.
Homeboy walked up in that bitch and was just like, what's up? What's good? All right, so I'm here 40 years in the GM industry of hotels. That's the spot, right? Yeah, that's the spot. Yep, definitely. Would I be a good worker? Damn right. Damn right. I'm working right now. I'm fucking working right now. I got the work ethic of a person that works. God,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Fuck
she's just
that.
like, okay, well, that concludes today's interview. And he's just like, fucking nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Broke her door on the way out.
They were like, yeah, I couldn't have. You were like, and then he was like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to afford my services anyways. Broke the door on the way out. Like, what?
I
What
wouldn't.
did he say? You wouldn't,
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able
yeah.
to what? You know what? Hey, let's get security over here. Fuck.
Oh, facts.
What's that guy doing?
Oh, facts.
Can he make it?
She was like, sir, please.
Stop it. Get some help.
Like, please. You need. And he's just like, nah, I can't afford my services anyway. Bro, that's crazy.
And
right
I
now.
understand the idea of like, you know, being a high functioning alcoholic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
However, where you fucked up was the volume, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
And like
You could have took those couple shots and I think you'd have been all right.
you've been fine.
Yeah, but the Valium with the alcohol
Yeah.
fucked you
Fucked
up.
you up, dude.
Yeah, bro.
And that's the thing too, where like obviously I've never partaken in mixing like
Prescription drugs. with
prescription
alcohol.
and with alcohol, right? However, if I with the inclination of how I felt on prescription drugs, right, when I had surgery and I had painkillers, I was fucking flying on those motherfuckers.
Facts, bro.
I could not fathom
Yes.
being drunk on those.
Yes.
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
And let alone trying to conduct myself in a way for a job interview.
Man.
And motherfucker was like, I did 40 years. I know my application says I'm 25. I did 40 years in the goddamn hotel industry. Sir, you hear about the night desk job, right? No. You guys
no.
need to hire me as the general manager in this bitch.
Yeah, I'm a general manager.
General
job.
manager. And they're like, sir, I'm getting the feeling that you're not really qualified for this.
Yeah, I
position.
can't afford my
I
services
can't afford
either.
these positions. Fuck.
I can't afford my services either.
Yeah, fucking
I
broke
can't.
the door.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. Forget you. All right, whatever your name is, Karan, whatever.
I
don't
wonder
know
how he broke the door.
I was just about to ask that. How
Yeah.
the fuck you break the door, bro? How does that happen?
Yeah.
It was probably one of those things where the door was like a push and the nigga was pulling it.
Yeah.
You know?
Hopefully it wasn't a glass door.
Oh, it might have been.
Most likely, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably why he broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, homeboy just shoulder charged into that glass
Shoulder
door.
charge.
Yeah.
Right through it.
Or not even like that. He probably was just like, and just fell right into that shit.
Unless he pulled some shit where he's like, you could see through the door, so he tries to grab the outside handle, and he's like,
Oh, just punches through it. Yeah. He's like, your fucking door's broken.
fuck, dude. Yeah. God damn it, dude.
Yeah, you might want to get that checked.
Yeah.
Your door's broken.
Fucking broke ass door, dude. I can't afford my services. Neither can you.
Yeah.
Broken
Oh,
doors. This
shit,
establishment
bro.
sucks. They have broken doors here.
Oh, fuck, man.
That's
oh,
hilarious.
fuck, dude. All right, that's going to be that thread, man. You guys let us know what you thought about that hilarious-ass fucking thread. Jesus Christ. If you have an embarrassing moment, whatever, that, you want to share in the comments, we shared ours, so hopefully you share yours. Let's hop through announcements really quick, and then we'll get on to today's scenarios. We probably won't be able to get through as many just because we had so many other things that were going on in the show. But patreon.com/MyTheAsshole podcast, get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these people did today. $3 a month gets you that exclusive episode. We're working on getting monetized on YouTube. We are so ever close, man. Probably a couple more weeks and then we'll be able to have the requirements to do it. You guys' support helps that out very much, so thank you guys so much for helping us get there and get monetized on YouTube. And then once we do, I can move all the Patreon stuff on over to our membership, and then you guys can do YouTube memberships and just make things a lot easier for you guys. All right. Audio listeners, thank you guys for all the support. You guys have been absolutely killing it in the game. Thank you so much, and appreciate everything that you guys have been doing, downloading the episodes as well as coming back every week and checking it out and listening to you boys every Sunday, checking out the book, listening to your boy every Tuesday. So I appreciate it so very much. Let's see. Keep downloading the episodes. Will's rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. All of that is free and helps out a lot. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right. Announcements. Did you want to add any announcements in there?
Not so much really. Just on my social medias, right? More so, like we said last time, I'm gonna start posting a lot of stuff about my job, my come up in the life insurance industry, as well as just some more helpful stuff for you guys. I'm just gonna be sharing my thoughts as like a father, as I travel through life. So if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, whatever the case may be, you want a little bit of extra me, extra bit of him, whatever the case may be, I'll be posting just some different stuff on my channel. Or on my Instagram, my TikTok, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
His socials are down in the description. They'll be the first
Yeah.
links you see before or after the link tree. So after the link tree, you guys will see his links down there. But yeah, I'll probably put it on screen somewhere. I'll get that queued up next time. That way it's on screen for people. But yeah, so definitely go check him out. Links are down in the description. And without further ado, let's get into today's scenarios, man. So let's get into our first scenario we got for you guys today. Another man texted, "I missed you," to my partner. What would you make of this? All right. It was 3 of us. The baby was barely 5 months old at the time. I was playing music and I decided to change the song on her phone, and a message from an unsaved number popped up on her phone saying, "I miss you." When I asked about it, she told me it was just someone who wanted her and that she had last seen him 2 years ago, and it's someone that wants her and she's always rejected him. She blocked the number, but still it would play in my head as a man. Why would I text a girl that I missed her if I've never been with her? It didn't make sense. The message never sat right with me. Months later, I impersonated her and and he fell for it. I texted the guy to understand what he meant while believing he was speaking to her. Confirmed the last time they were together was at a hotel/apartment. Confirmed a timeline of over 6 months. Rated their sex and head. He said he missed her, wanted her right now, and even planned to meet her on a specific day. Once my partner realized what happened, she denied everything and contacted him, after which he backtracked and claimed he didn't know who he was talking to. However, his explanations didn't line up, including referencing a public figure who wouldn't even have phone access at the time, confirmed because she was a constant on a live TV show that spanned over 3 months. Once the guy noticed I was the one speaking, he flat out egoed me and said things like, "She was mine before you, and that will never change." Damn. You think you the first ninja to hit her? Oh, these are black dudes, okay? Because he's like, you think you the first nigga that got her? I can hit your girl, but you can never hit mine. I don't give a fuck what you say. The fact is, you will always come after me. The dumbass 304 still has the audacity to save face and lie and say he said all those things because he wants her and he'd say anything for me to leave her, and he can get her. So he lied about who he thought he was talking to, and he lied again about me coming after him. I've just realized that now that she actually saying he lied twice. Am I in the wrong for walking away with the story when the story keeps changing and I don't believe it anymore?
No. What? I don't laugh at these scenarios, but I laugh because, like, for me the answer is obvious, where it's like, he said it out loud. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, your fucking head was phenomenal, baby girl." Like, you know what I mean? And like, you got that confirmation. She was like, "No," and that was her explanation. No, like, no, wrong. Didn't happen. Like, what? What? How? What do you mean? Nah, brother.
You're
like,
stupid.
Yeah, she got caught. She blocked the number because. She only blocked the number because she got caught.
Oh, 100%. And then there's no guarantee she kept the number blocked.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, I don't even... like he said, yeah, the moment you contacted him as her and he was telling you all that shit, you didn't even need to go any further than that. That would have just been your cue to been like, cool, bro, out this camp. Peace.
Yeah, for real.
Like, peace. I'm out of here. Hey, man, I know what you doing. I know how you doing it. Look, go ahead. Read them texts right there, bitch. I'm out. Yeah. Like, why are you staying?
Yeah.
Why are you staying around?
Well, they got a little baby. They got a little baby thing.
I get that.
So I could kind of understand it, but at the same time, you got to just get the fuck up out of there because she lied, and then he was like, yeah. Like, he tried to ego you. And
yeah, he had the bravado. He was like, yeah, man, I had her first, and that's my girl, and I'm always gonna be hitting your girl. You never gonna be hitting my girl, and it's just like, bruh.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? That for me is like crazy
that's
work.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like,
woo.
I'd be like, okay, clearly you got an easy bitch. Like, that's for me. I don't give a
facts.
fuck, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, you boast about every layup you make too. Like,
man,
you know
facts.
Like, fuck, bro. Like,
because at that point I would just be like, bro, have her. That's yours.
Yeah, that's yours.
Yeah, that's you. That's you, fam. Peace.
I'll do something else.
Shit. Either that or I would have been like, fuck it. I'd be cheating on her too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, dog, let's just share this bitch. Yeah. Whatever, bro. Yeah. Like, if you want to be that, like, weird and not want to leave her and shit. All right, cool, man.
Fuck it.
Yeah, let be like, yeah, we both fucking on this bitch. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Yeah. Then you go out and you go get you some bitches.
Yeah, because, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you're going to be staying home taking care of the baby. She's going to be sucking dick, dude. Like, that's what you want for your life?
You know? Like, bro.
Dude. Or, I mean, if you got, like he said, if you guys are cool with it, you know what I mean? She goes out, sucks dick. You take care of the baby. She takes care of the baby. You go get your dick sucked. Whatever.
You
what
know?
I mean?
Yeah. You find some
have
way.
a little arrangement. You'll be good. Or if that's what you want.
Yeah, and I only say that because like you did bring up a good point. They got a little baby thing.
Yeah.
So the fact they got a little baby, it's like, all right, I get it. You may not want to like move away from that dynamic so soon. And that's cool. That's fine. I ain't tripping with that. But you got to have an arrangement, bro, that, helps you out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. All right, on to our next one. My girlfriend went out with the neighbor. Okay. I got home from work, and we had a serious discussion about a news story about a couple where the woman cheated and the man... on the man, and then the man killed the children. I simply said that both of them were wrong and that the man committed a terrible crime. She said she would always defend the woman. Up to that point, everything was fine. I wasn't defending either the man or the woman. At the end of the discussion, she told me that after church, a neighbor invited her to get something to eat and she accepted. She said he touched her, but she didn't let him, and asked him to drop her off at a fast food instead. In the end, he paid the bill at the bakery and at the fast food. After hearing all of that, I asked her if she could actually be pregnant since we had unprotected sex. She said she might be, but she was having some dark wine colored bleeding and wasn't sure. She has difficulties getting pregnant. That's when I had said I was going to end the relationship and I took off my ring. She cried a lot and asked for forgiveness, but I didn't accept it. The next day, she was still at my house and I barely spoke to her all day. That night, she said that when she left the house, she thought about taking her own life. She thought about throwing herself in front of a car when she came back. I saw her outside crying and called her in to talk. I told her we would start over. When I told some male and female friends about this, my male friend said that regarding the suicide thought, she should seek professional help and that it wasn't 100% my responsibility. The two female friends had the same reaction. They doubted her and thought she might be manipulating me and that she seems like someone who tells many lies and stories. And many of her doubtful statements, I'm certain about some things, but others leave me with a nagging suspicion.
So I'm just kind of a little confused. Maybe my brain was not working.
Okay.
What? She went out with a neighbor and they fucked?
I don't know.
Because he said... I got so lost because she said he touched her and then she said no and then she became pregnant.
Well, see, okay, so let me see. Because it kind of didn't make sense to me too, but it sort of makes sense. So, okay, so she says that after church, the neighbor invited her to go get something to eat and she accepted it. She said that he tried to touch her, but she didn't let him and asked him to drop her off at a fast food place. Instead. I assume maybe they were going to go to a restaurant or something like that beforehand. And then she was just like, nah, we ain't doing that. I think you think this is something more than it actually is. Yeah. Take me to like some fast food and then this will seem a little more friendshipy, I guess. And he paid, yeah, and then he paid. I guess they went to a bakery too, because it then says he paid the bill at the bakery and at the fast food.
Okay,
all right. And so then, with him hearing all of that, he asked, "Are you pregnant?" So he was like, "You went out with this dude. You went to a bakery and fast food. He tried to touch you." And then he was like, "Are you pregnant?" And then he goes into how like it's difficult for her to get pregnant, I guess, because she was bleeding irregularly. It looked like dark wine, according to him.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. And so then he broke up with her because of that. And so then he broke up with her. And then she was just like, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm going to kill myself. And then he was just like, okay, hold on. Let's go talk. And then let's start over. And then all the friends and family are like, yo, she manipulating you, my nigga. She used the whole I'm going to kill myself card to like stay with you. I don't know if this is like he thinks that she cheated or he thinks that she had sex with homeboy. I don't know. He leaves that out. Like, what is it that you think happened between, her and this neighbor? Because, I mean, I don't think him buying her a pastry and some fast food equaled her getting smashed.
Maybe in some godforsaken way, he meant to put fuck, but he put touch. Because then it would make a little bit more sense where he tried to fuck me, she didn't let him, and then they went to go get fast food.
Maybe. But at that point, it's like, why would she go? You know what I mean? Like, bro, if dude walks up to a girl and is just like, damn, baby girl, I want to put my dick in you. And she's like, no, but let's go get fast food. Like that logic.
That's not impossible. It's not impossible.
True.
It's not impossible.
True.
Where, he kind of was like, all right, so you trying to do something before we get food? And she's like, no, let's just go get food.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if he words it differently, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
And then, so like, that's why in my brain, right, especially because he was like, she said he tried to touch me first, and then they went to go get food, right? She said no. Maybe they did fuck before they went to go get the food and the bakery and stuff.
Maybe.
And then she was like, yeah, he tried to fuck me, but I said no. And then we just went to go get food.
Yeah. Or it wasn't even about the fucking. She was just like, he tried to touch me. Maybe she was saying that like obfuscating from the fact that like they slept together.
Yeah. Okay.
It could have been that.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
It's very hard to understand because he went from like the fast food to like, I asked you if she was pregnant, and I'm like,
to like breaking up.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, hey, I went out with the neighbor. We went and got fast food and a pastry, and he paid for it. He tried to touch me. It was kind of weird, and he's just like, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay, we're breaking up.
That's
That's why I'm like, I don't get it. Wait, what is it, my guy? Did she fuck homeboy and you found out?
Yeah.
Was it a thing where you were like, wait a minute, we haven't had sex, and she's over here like
showing or something?
Maybe, or talking about she's pregnant. I don't know. Or showing signs that she is.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like she was like her belly was showing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, yeah, okay, he tried to touch you. That's weird. And then a little bit later, tummy.
Or maybe it was because remember he talked about like the blood and like it was maybe she had a miscarriage.
Okay. That's
maybe, and he was just like, were you pregnant?
Oh.
And she's just like, yeah, I was. And then he's thinking to himself like,
their timelines don't add up.
Yeah, the timeline ain't adding up from when we had sex to when you would have a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And so then he broke up with her. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
A little bit of sense.
Our brain power is coming together and combining. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what happened is she went out with homeboy. They did fuck.
Yeah.
And then she ends up telling him about the dude later on. And then she has this miscarriage, which then makes him say, were you pregnant? And she's like, fuck, yeah, I was pregnant. And then homeboy's like, hold up. It's that, the numbers all over the place. It didn't make sense to him. And then he's like, oh, shit. All right, I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay.
All right, yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, to answer the question, not an overreaction.
No.
I would just say, especially for anyone that gets a partner that when you try to leave, they say, I'm going to do whatever, right, harm myself.
Yeah.
I would just then, because it's not your responsibility. It's never going to be your responsibility.
No.
I would tell as many people as you can, hey, we broke up because I found out she was cheating. She's now threatening to end her own life. You guys need to handle this because she's no longer in my life. You know what I mean? And then whoever doesn't handle it from there, it's their fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's funny how you say that because I give that same advice all the time. all the time in these scenarios. And it was funny
Good.
because when I read this one out, and that she was the type that like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself because we're broken up. I was so like keen to wonder how you would go about it and give advice to it. And I'm like, damn, he gave the same exact advice I would give. I would sit there and I would say, dude, go to her friends, go to her family, all that kind of stuff, and let them know, hey, we're breaking up. She's thinking about, ending her life. I need you guys to kind of just look out for her, make sure she's okay, and this and that. And you move on, man. And if she does it, she does it. You did everything that you could to prevent it. It's out of your hands at that point. You move on and you be happy with your life. If she doesn't do it, it's okay. It's good. You did everything that you could to keep her from doing it. Yeah. But yeah, I love how like you gave the same advice that I gave, man. 100%. Yeah, man. All right, let's get on to our next one. Yes. Okay. Am I wrong for giving my boyfriend an ultimatum to get a job?
No.
Yo, bum ass nigga. All right, am I wrong for giving my boyfriend, 27, an ultimatum to get a job? We have been together 2 years, and I know the job market has been bad, but he quits every job he gets within 2 to 4 weeks. I told him I'm done if he doesn't, keep a job. I'm sure she meant get or keep a job.
Right.
I did break up with him once, and he says to give him a chance. He's had 3 jobs total since we've been together, and each job has lasted 2 to 4 weeks. He says he gets burnt out after the first week usually, and we live together. And he did help me after back surgery a year ago. He does help drive me places due to my back pain, but does not contribute financially. I am a bit upset because when I work, I get mad because he plays video games all day. I've had this talk with him multiple times, and he gets defensive and says he just hasn't found a job he doesn't like. I live in a small town. I work from home, so being with him 24/7 drives me insane. But I love him and wanted to help him, but we keep going around in circles and struggling with the one income I have. Told him that, but I try not to pressure him. God, girl, you need to check your grammar, please. He says I control his money, or try to, when he works. He told me he was going to get an Xbox with his first check, but he just used my car to get to work, so I told him that he should save to get a car. He quit his first job when I said that. Then I tried to be nice about it and not saying anything, and he's still quiet and said he was burnt out. So, am I wrong for giving my boyfriend an ultimatum to get a job? That's crazy work, bro.
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Bruh.
No. At first, I thought this was secretly written about me because when I was 27, I was doing pretty shitty things like that. But this is why I'm going to give you 2 scenarios, right? One from how I felt and one from how I feel now, right? So how I felt was exactly how your boyfriend feels, right? I would get a job and I wouldn't be passionate about it. And so showing up to something you're not passionate about is not productive for any fucking body. So at the end of the day, I'm just showing up to be, I would get a paycheck and it would help, but it was also, I wasn't, I didn't have good habits built around it because I just didn't give a fuck, So my from how I felt advice is going to be like, if you stick it out with him, eventually he might come around, he might mature up, and he might find what he's passionate about and be like, damn, dude, like I actually need to step the fuck up and understand, like, dude, I'm hurting the people around me that I care about, and I need to really buckle down and figure something out so that way we're not just in a shitty situation. Because the problem is he's too fucking comfortable,
Yeah.
He's not under enough pressure internally, not from you, because you can't put enough pressure on him. He has to put the pressure on himself. But he's not under enough pressure within himself to want to do better and to strive for something better. So as long as he if you want to stick around, I would just say, you gotta start leading him to the fucking water. You know what I mean? Like, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right?
Yeah.
But if you fucking give them something salty to eat, they'll eventually come around and be like, "Fuck, dude, I'm thirsty." You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting at. Where it's like, dude, you start laying it out where you just ask him the questions of like, all right, brother, like, so how do you see our dynamic, right? Like, are you more comfortable with me just working and earning and then you stay here and play fucking video games? And if he's like, oh, well, yeah, dude, that actually sounds fantastic. And, and then you dig more into it. If it sounds like he's not headed anywhere, then from there, that leads me into how I feel now, where I'm like, yeah, it just sounds like he's being a lazy fucking piece of shit, dude. And you probably need to get the fuck out of there,
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a lot financially more beneficial for yourself if you just stick to what you have and stop wasting money on that guy, And that's to say the same thing should have happened to me, where it's like if I didn't get into gear and start having ambition, there's no reason for anyone to stick the fuck around.
100%. Yeah,
and I can say that about myself, Like if I had no ambition, it makes sense as to why I wouldn't fucking have like a wife or kids or friends or things that I wanted in life,
Yeah.
And that's why eventually, right? I mean, hopefully he doesn't fucking stay a piece of shit, but eventually he will figure out like, you know what, I kind of do want more for life than just getting mad at Timmy for fucking me up on Xbox and fucking my wife and my girlfriend comes home and yells at me about work and whatever the case may be, and then from there he'll fucking hopefully do better, but I wouldn't give it too fucking long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I would not give it
too long. And also, like, try to show him like interests and things, because like you can always do things from home. Like if he enjoys playing video games and stuff like that, it's like, dude, get him off his ass and have him create a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or get him into streaming or something like that. You know what I mean? Like try to find what he's passionate about. Like if he's so hung up on like, I'm quitting my jobs because I'm not passionate about it. Okay, then what are you passionate about? And then you help him through that. Like if he's passionate about gaming or whatever, all right, let's start a YouTube channel and let's, start gaming and let's do this. Like lean a little bit into it and see if he can really put it into it. Because even if it's something he's passionate about and he's still lazy as shit and just gives up, or it's not what, he wants to do or whatever, then you just know, all right, he's not going anywhere. It's just, he's going to be a bum forever. It is what it is. But if he actually gets into something that he is interested in and he starts working hard at it, then you're going to look at it like, that's admirable. He's at least doing something. He's trying. He's putting his best foot forward. He's taking his time and making it useful instead of just being useless. You know what I mean? So and I think that's what kind of got you out of that same situation, is where once you started to do something that you were passionate about, you were just like, all right, cool. It's about time. I can put my time and my effort and my energy into this and actually enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's not like, it doesn't feel like every other job. So it's like, but if you got into something that you enjoyed and that you liked, and then you were still a sack of piece of shit, then odds are that's not the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just lazy. You're just lazy and you're just a sack of shit. It's not your motivation. It's nothing else that has to do with it. It's just that you're a lazy sack of shit and it is what it is. You're never going to change. And that's why I say when you go about it like that, that is like the telltale sign. Because once somebody gets into something that they're enjoying, nothing is going to stop them from wanting to do it or wanting to be successful in it. And also having a partner that is going to be supportive of that too is only going to push them even further. But if they're just simply not that person, it's going to show. It's going to show. They're going to see it.
And so the key point, and that I like what you're saying there. The key point though that drives someone to do it is an emotional attachment to an end goal, right? No one in their right mind, right? If we sat a fucking hamster wheel in front of this camera and one of us was like, yeah, just walk on this wheel until I say stop.
Yeah.
Neither one of us is going to fucking do that. But if like, YouTube came down and was like, yeah, if you walk on this wheel for like 12 hours straight, dude, we'll give you $10 million. I bet your ass both of us would be like, oh yeah, dude, we'd be fucking walking, and you know what I mean. So there has to be an end goal. Where for me, I realized I was like, fuck, dude, like I saw the impact it had on my situation. Where I'm like, all right, dude, like my house, which is important to me, my family, my wife, whatever the case may be, all this stuff is important. And I had remembered, like, dude, we went to the Grand Canyon one time when I was in the Marine Corps, and I was like, dude, that was one of the best memories I fucking had in my life, dude, because like my girls got to see snow for the first time, and my wife got to see snow for the first, well, not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time, right? And we got to see the beautiful Grand Canyon, and I was like, dude, I couldn't picture another fucking beautiful time in my fucking life that actually brought me joy, you know? And then so from there, I was like, I could just keep doing that if I had fucking money. So and that's where, like, I wasn't necessarily passionate about sales, but I started doing well at sales, and I started liking the people that I was talking to and helping families. And so from there, that's when I was like, all right, so if I can do this, and one of my mentors actually says that, where it's like, don't do what you're passionate about, do something that works and be passionate that it fucking works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the end goal doesn't matter. No, the end goal matters more than the process for it, right? And someone else that I follow heavily on social media says that if you are procrastinating or if you're being lazy about something, it's because the end goal is not strong enough to justify the work that you have to do to get there, right?
Okay.
If you think about any like video game, right? He's a gamer. You think about any video game that he plays, there's an end goal that he's trying to achieve, whether it's beating the game, prestiging, grinding until he has enough XP for something, right? There's some type of unlock that he's trying to get to, that where no matter how boring the game gets, he's like, dude, I'm going to get to this goal because I want this end goal. And then that drives him to be excited about the boring shit of, you know, jumping into the lobby over and over and over again and grinding and shit like that. And he has to find that exact same thing for real life, where it's like that end goal of, like, you know, taking you to fucking wherever, or like marrying you, or whatever the fucking case may be. And you have to dig for that for him if you want to stay, and find out what that is, and then help him get excited about, like, dude, we can have that. You just got to go through the steps of, like, this will be the building blocks. You set a clear path, right? That's another thing about burnout, where if you feel like you're spinning your wheels and you have no idea where you're going, you're also going to get burnt out, because you're like, dude, I don't even know if this is going to get me there.
Yeah.
So, like, that's another thing. You set a goal, you set a clear path, and then get fucking excited about getting there and knowing that, you know, right? Like if we had 100 more podcast episodes to film before, you know, we were fucking rich and famous, or like, you know, something in your life where it's like you had 100 more customers to work out before you got promoted to manager, right? You would get through all those 100 until, like, as quickly as fucking possible.
Yeah, you probably slog it out every day.
You would probably not fucking sleep. You would probably like, dude, how can I fucking get there faster?
Yeah, early mornings, late nights, all that. Yeah,
so I can be at that number quicker. And it's the same shit for him. He needs to find that end goal to where, like, all right, if I map out this amount of fucking whatever, right, I'm going to try my hardest to hit that number quick as shit in order to have that success. And then from there, right, keep moving the goalpost, right? That goes for anyone, right? Because success is not an end destination, it's a journey, right? It's a never-ending journey. And so from there, you know, you're going to hit one goal and be like, all right, let me double that. And then from there, you'll just have an infinite way to never be burnt out ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, that's masterclass. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, look, man. If that, like I said, if you go through those steps and you do that, and he's still the same guy, you know, he does say he wants to be, you know, let's say a streamer or a YouTuber or whatever, and then he does it for 2 to 4 weeks and then just decides to quit and all that, then you just know this relationship's over. You know, that's just your telltale sign. But you guys let us know what you think about that one in the comments. Let's get on to our next one. Am I overreacting for leaving my boyfriend after his ultimatum?
Interesting.
All right. So I, 27 female, ended my relationship with my boyfriend, 42 male, and I'm struggling to know if I've been overacting over his behaviors. We began seeing each other when I was 26 and he was 41, so a year ago. We worked at the same school and spent a lot of our time together. Day-to-day life felt stable, affectionate, and calm. We both value physical touch and closeness, and my days were comfortable and easy. He made me feel cared for and chosen. I loved him and felt loved. However, there were moments where it felt controlling, but I dismissed it. Early in the relationship, he gave me an ultimatum about cutting my hair, saying it represented something I needed to let go of because I cared about it too much. He said if we were going to move forward, I had to cut it. I was crying and tried to reason with him not to push this, but he framed it as necessary growth. I cut it because I did not want to lose him, but felt sick about it. This was not long after I just left my family home, and I felt, it would have I would have no one to turn to. He also had a tendency to analyze and coach me. He prescribed cold showers, correcting how I reacted to things or moved through life, telling me how to park and politicize what I cared about if he didn't think it was important. It lessened over time, but it left me feeling managed. The biggest tension was my family. I come from an Arab Muslim background, and they would never have approved of the relationship due to the cultural differences, and especially the age gap. And the fact that he is divorced with 2 children, I understand that continuing the relationship meant potentially estrangement, and I accepted that even after discussing with him. After 6 months of seeing each other privately, I moved out of my family home and closer to him without telling them. My family did attempt to contact me after I told them I didn't want communication. They showed up twice over 5 months and asking to speak with me. They did not threaten violence, but the situation was emotionally intense. They had contacted the police and thought I was in danger. My boyfriend viewed their contact as a threat to our safety and stability and pushed strongly for legal actions both times. He believed filing a peace bond was necessary to protect us and provide commitment to the relationship. I struggled with involving the legal system because it would have serious consequences. My family's livelihood and I have 2 younger brothers. When I expressed hesitation, he interpreted it as me choosing them over him. The final time he said that if we didn't proceed legally, the relationship could not continue. I ultimately filed for a peace bond, even though the court initially did not see sufficient grounds. I feel deeply conflicted, but again, I didn't want to lose him. A few days after filing, he said he didn't feel connected because I hesitated. He felt I chose my family over him and needed some time to see if he could move past it and work on reconnecting. After that day, I decided to end the relationship. I felt that even with doing that, he moved the goalpost, and he was never satisfied. I ended things. He said, I've been strong for so long and things have been so perfect, and if I can keep being strong. I'm torn because our daily life was loving and stable. I was happy. I can't tell if I walked away from something meaningful because I wasn't strong enough to fully separate from my family, or if the patterns I described are enough reason to leave. Okay.
I'm curious to know what you think, brother.
This one is very difficult because I get his mindset, okay? Like when you're an older guy, you tend to date a younger woman because, you know, she's more malleable. You can mold her and get her on your program and things like that. And a lot of that I really didn't have a problem with. Now, what I had a problem with is you trying to take her away from her family. Now, I get it. You come from like a Muslim Arab background, and they probably would not be accepting of your relationship just because of the age difference, the religious aspect of it, cultural aspect of it, all that kind of stuff. And I get that, and I understand that. But that could have been a conversation. You could have easily gone to a family dinner, and you guys could have talked and all that kind of stuff. Dad would have grilled him and asked a bunch of probing questions and been like, yo, what are your intentions with my daughter? Like, what is going on? Like, why are you doing this? Is she okay? Is she safe? Do you love her? Do you actually care about her? Whatever. He's going to grill you and put all these questions. But I get it. I get the concern from the family. Like, if I were in that position, I would understand that, like, yeah, I want to know who the fuck my daughter is dating, especially because he's a lot older of a guy. But I mean, having a conversation would put a lot of that worry and a lot of that to bed, and it would put it away quickly just because you guys would be able to have a conversation. And I think that would be the most mature way to go about it. And then you guys wouldn't have to go through the whole legal shit and the peace bond and all that other crap. This all could have been just stopped with a conversation. You guys have dinner together, whatever the case may be, and just talk over the table like adults. The fact that you didn't do that and decided to hide him from your family and not talk about the relationship and not talk about why you're moving and all this kind of stuff, I think it just kind of kept adding these dominoes in there. And when it all fell, it just kind of seems like a lot more than it actually was. And so that's kind of how I feel about it. Now, as far as, how you're feeling to being like, did I give up something that could have been good for me because I was like, looking at all these red flags that might not be red flags? If I'm being honest with you, that just kind of depends. Like, do you value staying close to your family while being in a relationship? Me, I value being in my family, and I want my girl to be close to her family, and my family's close to her, and I'm close to her family. Like, I value that kind of stuff. But maybe he doesn't. And so this kind of comes up to your morals and your ideas. Are you okay with that? Do you want a guy that doesn't want you to be close with your family? Or do you want a guy that does want you to be close to your family, at least to some degree? Because you got to realize, bro, like, Muslim or not, bro, you're in America. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your daughter's going to meet guys with different outlooks on life and, different values and different culture and stuff like that. Like, that's just the way that kind of goes. But if you're able to just sit down, have a conversation, talk about it. Hey, what are your doubts? Why do you feel uncomfortable with me being with your daughter, Apish? And Apish is just like, well, these are my things and this is what I want to know. And what is going on? Why are you 42 and she's 23? Like, what is going on? Where did you guys meet? How did you guys meet? And what do you guys have in common? What is going on? Because those are the things that he's worrying about. Those are the questions that he has, rightfully so. But if you're able to just be like, shit, Rapish, like, we met at the school, we clicked, got together, you know what I mean? I really gravitated toward her because of X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? She was like, oh my God, I really like this. Then, we got to know each other even more. A, B, and C, that all clicked. We were just good. Everything just felt right. And so we went on a date and everything felt good. And you know what I mean? And then your girl is going to back you up on that because she's going to see how you're like handling those questions, those really tough questions. She's going to see how you're handling it. She's going to back it up like, yeah, Dad, I feel really safe with him. I feel he loves me and cares about me and everything is just great. I'm so happy in this relationship. Like, I'm safe, Apish, you know what I mean? And he's going to be like, oh, shit, I don't like it, but I'm going to trust my daughter's judgment in this. But with this whole peace bond and him being like, oh, no, you can't see them and, we should go legally. Apish is just like, see, I told you. What? Not right for my daughter. No, thank you. Fuck out of here. No Slurpees for you at the 7-Eleven. No, thank you. I'm just telling you that, like, that's what Mans is thinking. Mans is mad. He's pissed. Rightfully so. Yeah.
Oh my God. So, a couple things, right?
Sorry, I love my Muslim brothers and sisters. All right,
yeah. I think the accent was more Indian than Arabic, but yeah.
I mean, they so mixed, man.
God damn it. So for myself, right, this is something that, just a long story short, right, my answer to your question is I do feel like you gave up a little too early because you were uncomfortable, right? For me, I've, especially now in my life specifically, I've come to more of the terms of like, dude, family does not mean shit, dude. I don't give a fuck. Blood does not mean anything to me. But I say that with the idea that my mother, right? My father passed away, so I can't speak for him. But my mother, well, both of them do have loved me unconditionally, right? But my mom knows she has no say in what the fuck I do. So that's another thing where I see where he's coming from, because if you have expressed like, yeah, dude, like they would definitely tell me to break up with you if they knew we were together, then I'm like, well, fuck them. You know what I mean? We have a great relationship. We could have a great family. They're going to get in the way of that. Fuck them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially if they, you know, they weren't violent, but they're like, no, Ipsky, you need to get home. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be marrying this man, you know? Then I'm going to be like, all right, look, listen, right? If they're going to play too much of a factor in whether or not we can actually stay together and be happy, fuck them, right? If you want to see them, that's fine. You can see them, but you got to know that, like, it is going to be me or them, you know? Because if we're going to have children, we're going to have a happy life together. And this will go for any man, right? If they're going to play such a big factor in the dynamic of your family to where he can't lead as a man because you're too busy listening to your family, then it's like there's no point in staying in the relationship with you, because that he's not going to be able to your family is not going to flourish because it's not your family, it's your parents' family. I mean, they're going to be raising your children through puppeting you by telling you what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? And no man's going to stick around for that. You know what I mean? And so that's where I'm like, I get it where culturally, if you married a Muslim dude and he acted the same way as your parents do and they approved, then things would go a lot smoother. But at the same time, right, if what my boy here was saying, you couldn't, like, what couldn't happen was you guys sit all down and talk about, like, hey, I understand we're culturally different, but at the same time, I've done my absolute best as a 40-year-old man to, like, provide for your daughter, make sure she's taken care of, make sure she gets what she wants, make sure she's on the path to success, right? Like I said, success is not a final destination. It is a ever stretching journey, right? So of course he's gonna move the goalpost where it's like, hey, all right, we'll hit this goal, let's see if you can do it, all right, and then we just keep going, where like constantly in life, right, as a man, we are always now trying to strive for more, right? If we're staying stagnant, then we're gonna end up losing money or losing what we fucking had. You know what I mean? If you're staying still, someone else is moving past you, you know? And that's where it's like, it's the same thing for women, where like if he's leading you and he has, you know, an idea for how your dynamic's supposed to be, then you just got to keep going. You know what I mean? There's not going to be, unless you want it, there's not going to be an end goal for you to hit where you're like, all right, now I don't have to do anything else because I've hit every check mark in life and I can just live my life the exact same way the entire time. You know what I mean? And then so like that's what he's trying to avoid you doing, is like staying stagnant where he's not staying stagnant, you know? So I feel like you not wanting to lose him was your mind telling you like, dude, this is actually worth it. We need to continue to keep up with this. You know? And you ended it too soon because it's like, I get it was probably stressful for you, but like you said, you felt safe, you felt loved, everything was going fantastic. You know, there was just goals you had to meet because he's that much older than you. You know what I mean? He's close to double your age, and he's had so much more life. He's had so much more experience and more ideas of what he actually wants, and then he chose you, you know? I could understand if he was fucking around, he wasn't being successful, he wasn't a man of his own word, right? Now, that's not to put your feelings to the side, right, and say what you feel doesn't matter, but if you think back to any point in time, even in your life, Rig 4, when something felt uncomfortable, that didn't mean it was necessarily bad for you. It just meant that like you weren't used to it, you know, and you had to get used to it in order to come out on the other side a better person. So especially now for me, right, I've had the conversation with my wife where it's like we've taken steps to actually break off from her family because we don't feel that they are beneficial to our family dynamic, you know?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's just something that's important, where it's like, all right, I get family is family. For her, blood is blood. It's very important. For me, I don't come from the same ideals. However, my family has shown, in the people that I keep in my life, they've shown that they are worth sticking with the idea of, like, they are family, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And for the people that don't, well, I don't talk to them, and I don't care about talking to them because, like, at the end of the day, right, my goal is just to make sure my family's success and life is well taken care of, you know? And it should be the same thing for you, where you break off from your family and start a new family and then raise your kids as best as you guys can, you know?
Yeah.
That's my take.
No, I mean, that's good that we were able to get it from both sides, because
Right.
it's just like, you know, like I said, I value that family dynamic. I want my family to be close with hers, and I'm close with hers, and she's close with mine. You know, I want that kind of dynamic, and it's up to her. I mean, it's her type of thing, because we don't know. We don't know what type of person she is. We don't know if she looks at it like, no, I want my boyfriend to be part of my family, or if she's okay with saying, you know what, fuck my family.
Yeah.
I'm going to be with my man. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what kind of person she is.
Yeah.
So it's good that we were able to give her advice from both sides to kind of let her be like, okay, shit, you know? But yeah, I think it's a thing where I agree with him as far as staying with the guy.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, I was in no way, shape, or form being like, nah, it was good that you guys broke up. Nah, it's just more of a thing where this could have all been prevented. It was more of my thing. Like, this could have been easily prevented by you guys just talking and sitting down and having a conversation. Because, dude, the amount of times I've had girlfriends' dads grill the fuck out of me, you know, and then I just answer the questions, boom, 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 and then it kind of puts a lot of their, like, doubt to rest, and like, all right, he ain't that bad of a guy. You know what I mean? And that's all it really comes down to. Like, dad is just making sure his baby girl is all right, and that's understandable. You know what I mean? And since you come from a Muslim background, I guarantee you family is a big thing for her. But I get it. You know, we're also in America, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to be Muslim, that's fine, but she's going to run into a lot more of American values than she is Muslim values.
Yeah.
So I can see, like, that still being viable.
Yeah.
You know, where she's just like, man, nah, fuck y'all, man. I got to go with my man. So you guys let us know what you think about it in the comments. You let us know what you think, what advice you would probably give her, if you agree with me or him. All right, we're going to get on to our last one. For today's episode. This one is, am I overreacting? I think my boyfriend is gay.
Oof.
All right. I, 21 female, have been with my boyfriend, 20 male, for 6 months. A couple of months into our relationship, he asked if we could try pegging.
What did he say?
That's crazy. Okay. He thought that I would be into it, so I decided to give it a try. Ever since, that's all he wants. He never seems interested in giving me pleasure and will only do it if I promise to peg him. At first, I thought it was because he wanted me to dom him, but I feel like he is more in control of the situation. I asked him, how come you wanted to experiment with this? He then said in return, my ex put me off of vagina. I honestly don't know what to do. Am I overreacting?
Bruh.
Oh, bruh, he's gay. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Bro is gay. There ain't no dude, there ain't no straight dude that sits there and it's just like, babe, peg me. Like, that just doesn't happen. Even those dudes that like the dommy mommies and all that shit, they don't be like, peg me. No. They want to get stomped on, you know, or they want like a girl to tell them they have a small penis and shit, but they don't be like, peg me. Bro, that's some gay shit, bro. Yeah, your boyfriend's gay.
I'm gonna be just a tad bit more accepting, because I'm not gonna say I'm oblivious to the idea that it's possible, because there's, you know, like I said, there's someone out there for everyone, right?
Yeah.
There could be a straight dude that likes to get pegged, whatever. However, for the thing that solidified it for me was like, my ex put me off of off of vagina.
Yeah.
That to me is like,
Yeah.
all right, dude is gay. He's probably not comfortable going around men yet because whatever, but he probably is like, you know what, I'm just gonna use this as like a stepping stone to just be gay as fuck.
Like, this is just a ladder into my future gay self kind of thing. Yeah.
For him, dude, yeah, definitely gay. Sorry to tell you, or not really. I mean, you can just go find a dude that's not gay.
You
It's
facts.
easy.
Yeah,
It's
you know.
literally easy.
Yeah, they're walking around all over the place.
All
like,
over the
you know,
place,
you're
yep.
21, you're chilling. Like, I don't even know why you pegged this dude in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, well, I don't know what you thought you were gonna get out of that.
Yeah, especially when he was like, he will only start pleasuring you after he gets pegged. It's like, all right, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's just
Yeah.
like, nah, I can only do you with a sore booty hole.
Yeah, if
It's the
you,
only way I can do you.
I get it. You're young. You're like, is this more common than I think? No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not common
not
at all.
common at all.
No.
He's gay.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
the joke. No,
Yeah.
that's an insider between me and him.
Yeah.
But, he's gay. You got to find someone else at this point.
Yeah,
because
bro.
you can't just keep playing into his fantasy. You just got to tell him like, hey, dude, super uncomfortable with you being gay now. Just man up, go on Grindr, and you'll find someone else. That can do it.
Yeah. I mean, you can help him on his gay journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can open him up to Grindr and be like, hey, you know, like, look, there's this dude that wants to meet you, and you know, get him his little first experience and let him see.
Yeah.
Let him see what it's about. And he might just be like, thanks.
Yeah, don't do it at your house, though.
No.
Don't let him do that shit
No,
at your
no,
house.
no. You guys meet up at a hotel or some shit.
Let him do that
Yeah.
shit on his own time.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
yeah.
you
If
know.
you want to be supportive in that way, yeah, dude, let him be gay.
Yeah. It's, you know, that's what I mean. Like, let him be supportive about it. You know, show him like, hey, you know, it's okay. It's all right. If you like, you know, you got a little sugar in your shoes and all that. That's okay. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, but that's going to go ahead and be today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know it was a roller coaster of an episode. It was for us. Again, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. Get that exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show like these lovely people did for today. If you want to send in any videos or I guess your Tinder profiles for us to rate and give advice to, definitely put it down there and we'll start doing that. If there's a video you want us to react to, definitely send it to you, boy, and we'll react to it. And yeah, all that good stuff. So audio listeners, thank you guys for all the support and all that good stuff. Man, you guys are going to have to start watching the Sunday episodes, though. I ain't going to lie to you. You guys are missing out, audio listeners, on the Sunday episodes. You guys are going to have to start watching. But thank you for all the support. Keep downloading the episodes as well as rating us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to help out us even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribe on YouTube. All of that is free and helps out very, very much. All links are in the description. And then, got anything to close out?
Yeah, brother. I mean, for like I like to say on most of these episodes, thank you guys so much for writing into the show. I appreciate all the asks for advice from both of us. It really helps me organize my thoughts on like what it is that's important to me and like getting myself straight, so I can help you guys a little bit more as well. So it's kind of like a give and take type of deal. Like I talk with Aaron about all the time, I don't really do this necessarily for like the views or the future monetization or whatever the case may be. I do it because I just love helping people and I want to reach as many people as I can. So, like I say, you know, follow us on your preferred platform. We will just continue to be here and crush it all 2026.
Oh yeah, 2026. Me and this guy are taking over, baby.
Yeah,
taking over, baby.
We are here for you guys. And
Yeah,
I can't wait. Especially with these videos and the Tinder profiles now, it just gives us more to like talk about, hash out. Really livens up the show some even more than what it already is. So, yeah, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. You know,
100%.
This is great.
100%,
shit.
man. You guys have been supporting for the last almost 3 years, and in August it'll be 3 years I've been doing this show. So it's like the fact that you guys have showed continued support year over year over year, it's amazing. It's great. And now, you know, we're bringing him into it, and you guys have seemed to welcome him in with you know, arms and everything. So I mean, it's been great because we've had like, military scenarios. We had that scenario even today where, I didn't even know that. Like when you're 27, you're just like, oh, dude, I didn't have a job and I was just sitting around doing nothing or whatever. And like for me, I would have given totally different advice, but you were able to give it, advice from experience. And there's just a lot, which is really good, is like, I'm adding more experience to the show to where it's like maybe you've experienced something that I haven't, or I've experienced something you haven't, and we're able to better, give assessments to these scenarios and stuff like that. So it's definitely a win-win. It's definitely, and then it's one of those things where it's like, even if say you're not in this situation or somebody that is or whatever, you can bring them to the show or clip it and show it to them and stuff like that. So it always helps people out, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, but that's going to be it. I will see you guys on Tuesday for another fantastic episode. We will be back on Sunday next week. And that's going to be it. Love you guys all, and peace.
Peace.